Testing, testing. Hey, Sarge. Can you hear me? Should be able to hear me. Though my chat box is still not working. I don't know how to fix it. And almost ready. Can you hear me, Sarge? I got a new follower. I got 2 new followers. Do, do, do. You can hear me! So funny enough, I'm using the same piece of technology I did last time when we had a bad connection and were lagging 10 minutes behind each other, but I'm in a different location. So what I think is that I was in a dead zone last time, because I was thinking, oh no, I'm not going to be able to use this device to stream, which, you know, isn't the worst thing in the world. It happens. But now I'm thinking I was just in a dead zone and I can stream, so that's the plan. Do, 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 do. Let's see. Coming. You said, huh? What do you mean, huh? Oh. Hello, I'm not in the best mental state, so you're pretty dead in chat. Fair enough, fair enough. Well, we will be talking about writing, so maybe we will... Oh. Oops. Maybe we will catch your interest today. Alright, I think that... Oh, wait. No, I didn't send all my links yet. So 1 second. I like to send a bunch of links around, just because you never know. And we did that one already. One. Alright, I think that's everything. Oh wait, no, I didn't do the... didn't do the Carney Tord one. Other VTubers, because I'm another VTuber. Not sure I'll get any attention, but hey, we can try. Okay, now you have essentially my full attention. So this was about testing chat. Testing it. Oh, hey Trinagi, you made it. I have 4. I wasn't sure I was gonna get more than 2. Nice, I made it to this monumental stream, so I'm glad to be part of Kizu's first Guerilla stream. My camera capturing isn't as good here because I'm at an angle. Let's see if I can fix that a little bit. Make it a little better for me. So, alright, so I wanted this to be a writing stream, but if I'm being honest, I had no thoughts planned. So that's partially why I called it a Zatsu too. Just kind of a free chat, see where we go. But if any of you have a topic you want to bring up writing wise, I would be happy to go there. I'm sure I'll be able to think of something to talk about, but you know, Zatsu, free talk, everyone, chime in whenever you want. Trinagi too, you're great at naming characters. I stink at that. I'm jealous. And not only today are we having Kizu's first Guerilla, we also got Kizu heart emote in chat. Woo woo. Okay. I know I kind of have a Word document just up here doing nothing. But we'll leave it up there for now. So, let's see. Might I suggest a Kizu story time? Yeah, I was considering that. I thought it would be interesting to do Kizu story time more directly, but I'm not as good at doing that kind of free talk as I am free writing. Though, while I'm here, maybe I'll show you guys something. Here, I'll pause this. I was thinking of releasing, but I've gotten a little self-conscious about it, so let's see what you guys think. VTuber, I made some shorts that I've never released. Open. Pop. Let's pop that in the chat. It's not quite writing related, but it's something a little brief. Let's see. Yeah, I guess we'll switch this for the time being. DLC. I wonder if you guys can hear it properly. Let's see. I was planning to release this before I debuted, but I never got around to it, and then I got self-conscious that it was kind of bad. But here we go. Kizu's rules. Rule number 1. Double check personal roadblocks and other obstacles. Many times in my life, I had looked at something as impassable, and even if it was true, it wasn't always going to be that way. But because I tended to look at the situation as blocked, I stopped thinking about it and didn't notice when it was no longer blocked. Other times I was never stuck at all. I just didn't try to get out. In either case, don't ever think you will always be stuck. Even if you are now, one day you won't be. Kizu! Is it too quiet? Can you guys hear it or no? Ooh, the unreleased cut. I have a few of them. I made up 9. I recorded 7, and I released 0. It's a little quiet, but I heard it. Well, we can turn it up a little bit. About right there. We'll try again. Kizu's rules. Rule number 1. Double check personal roadblocks and other obstacles. Many times in my life, I had looked at something as impassable, and even if it was true, it wasn't always going to be that way. But because I tended to look at the situation as blocked, I stopped thinking about it and didn't notice when it was no longer blocked. Other times I was never stuck at all. I just didn't try to get out. In either case, don't ever think you will always be stuck. Even if you are now, one day you won't be. We got another one. Kizu's rules. Rule 34. Wait, are you sure you want to use that number? Yeah, why not? Never mind. You probably don't know yourself as well as you think you do. While you may know a lot about yourself, I don't think you'll ever know everything, and that might seem odd. But I realized when I stopped thinking I knew everything, I learned way more about myself. Sometimes things that may have been true years ago aren't always going to be true now. Be open-minded about yourself. It can help a lot. Kizu's rules! Okay, that's enough of that. Alright. Okay, let's look at writing then. Yeah, why not? We'll do a teaser from Impossible Girls. And now we'll switch. Woohoo! Maybe zoom in. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. Woohoo! Be right back. I'm loving the book bug model. I'll do it for the book badge. Oh yeah, I can technically pull up that model right now. Let's see, just to show you. Oh no. There we go. Do. And where's my OBS? Not only that, I have some toggles with this model too. I can go, huh? What you talking about? Or you can surprise me? I can't believe you just did that. Or I can be very sad. Or I can get rid of my paper and go rock. I has rock. Rock, rock, rock. Okay, well, I mean, Kizu's rules are pretty good advice. Yeah, that's what I wanted them to be. I didn't want to give bad advice. I didn't want to just make jokes or shorts. I wanted my shorts to be genuine advice. Okay, but should go back to your regular scheduled Kizu. Okay, so chat. We need rock book bug as an emoji. How would it be that much different? Oh, wait, my chat isn't working. I should turn it off. Be right back. And let's see. Do, do. Oh, yeah, okay, about there. That's good. Okay, and check. So I will do some reading out loud of my own content. This is a full book, so obviously I'm not reading a full book. That's the page count for the full book. There's going to be some cringe here, but I guess it could be something we could talk about, to break the ice on discussing, stories. I knocked on my sister's door. Okay, I'm going to interrupt myself already. That is such a weird, weak opening line. But opening lines are one of the hardest things to write. Just saying, surprise book bug would be a good IO? I'm not sure what you mean by IO. I don't know all the VTuber terminology yet. But yeah, no, I could bring pictures of the shocked bug bug. Well, actually, I'll do that right now, just so I don't forget. Let's see, book bug. Before I forget, VTuber. Bug. see. Shot. Pop. We'll do sad too. And we'll do the. There we go. Bookbug files are now in Discord. Agreed. IO VTuber terminology. If that's not VTuber terminology, I don't know what it is still. Okay, I knocked at my sister's door. Oh, that's such a bad line. Again, I don't know how to open. I almost think this is better just tap tap tap. But either way. Tap tap tap. I waited, usually in vain, for her to open it. More often she would just shout for me to come in. I faintly made out a noise and assumed it was such a shout. Walking inside revealed what I expected. Her clothes decorating the furniture, almost like decorations of on a Christmas tree is what I meant. I guess of works. The groceries that didn't need to be refrigerated sitting in their bags, and a pot of cold water next to a box of Kraft's mac and cheese. Sorry, she shouted from her room. Just one more email and I'll be out there. Let me know when the water's boiling, okay? I chuckled a bit. That was Leslie, a hard-working lawyer. She worked hard for the city as a public defender, and she loved the chance to keep fighting the top gods, especially for the average Joe that needed help. Don't worry, I got it. I'll get you when it's ready, I shouted back. We both knew it wasn't gonna be just one more email, but that was fine. She was saving lives. The least I could do is cook up some noodles. I debated for a moment, but decided to use magic. I raised my hand over the pot, and in a brief flash, a white glove appeared. The kind you would expect to see at some sort of formal party now covered my hand as I snapped my fingers. Boil. In an instant, the water roared into a boil. The glove vanished off my hand in what I would almost describe as an explosion of glitter, and I turned the fire on to keep the water hot. I suppose it's better she forgot to turn the fire on when she gets so wrapped up in her work. The last thing we needed was her place catching fire, especially with all the fires lately. Sorry, something. I've not stayed properly hydrated lately. Uh, where was it? Where was it? Lost my place. Oh, lately, got it. That would be a bad look for her cases. Not sure that would be the only problem with her place catching fire. It conveys surprise. It means, hey, you. And it's supposed to be for when your buddy says something odd and you have to draw attention to it. Sorry for the long description. Why sorry? I love learning. If you're going to teach me something, you should teach me properly. And I think you did. So nothing to apologize there for. It's like saying, hey, sorry, I just was going to do a good job. Like, no, I say thank you for doing a good job. All right. Let's see, how far will we go before we try to talk about this? If any of you have questions about the material, I want you to ask. This is a discussion. I've noticed a trend of your magical abilities, fantasy, in many of your shorts. Well, I'm not sure I would call this a short, but yes, I like to talk about magic. It's not that I think there's anything wrong with not doing stories about magic. Just magic is what makes me intrigued in writing. Not necessarily the magical elements of themselves. I like how magic can shape a character. And we can already use an example here. Sort of. You don't get the full picture yet. Obviously, it's only been a page. But Emily here, the girl whose POV we're in, she has magic and her sister and her family doesn't. This is a secret that she's had to keep from them, and it's causes a divide between her family and herself. And while no one can relate to that in the sense of being divided by magic, I think there's a lot to be said about a character who's divided from something, their family by something. And I like using magic as a catalyst to dive into, real world issues. Ah, yes, the superior cursor. Yes, you recognize Kaisei Koda. So, one of the classic examples of this, in my opinion, for my writing style, is I had a character named Valerie, and she trained. She got her, her fighting chops. But if you look closely, you would notice that every time Valerie gets a lot stronger, she also learns to accept more of herself. She learns to be okay with who she is. So, Valerie learning to accept herself makes her stronger. She also does train, so it's not the only factor, but that self acceptance is an analogy or an allegory to her strengths. The more she accepts herself, the stronger she is. And I love kind of relaying that kind of message in a story. Sneezes. Yeah, Sneezes. Oh, the woman I thought was a man. Sneezes thought Kai was a boy when she saw this emoji. Ah, okay. Or this cursor. But let's continue a little bit more. So I was about here. Okay. As I dumped the noodles in, I couldn't help but ponder if the use of magic was reasonable. No one knew I had magic, not my sister or anyone else. And to my knowledge, no one else in the world had magic, so I didn't get too many chances to make use of it. So this is also kind of a clunky line, But the reason I included it was because I wasn't sure how else to directly tell the reader, like, hey, what she's doing magic, that's not normal. So that was the point there. Uh, do you apply Kizu's rules specifically to your writing? No, the Kizu's rules was life advice that I try to live my life by. I don't always succeed, but I always try. Uh, holding holding such a secret seemed natural. No remote underground testing labs for me. So this line I kind of love because it gives you an insight into Emily. She thinks if people knew about her magic, they would kidnap her to try to learn about it. So I'm not sure if that's how this world would treat her, but that's her concern. Uh, Plus, even if they could replicate what I had, I'm not sure how useful it would be. My ability seemed pretty limited to telling water what to do, and I had to be making noise while doing it. Not only that, I had to be wearing all of or at least part of this weird though admittedly adorable outfit that I could magically spawn. As I was draining the noodles, my sister walked out, stretching her arms with a yawn. Man, Emily, I seriously need to invest in a new chair. But how would you get it to your room? I said, pointing to all the loose items on the ground. $20 if you help me clean this weekend, she asked as she poured some cold coffee into a mug. I thought about it for a moment. 20 if I help you clean, 40 if I end up cleaning while you work. 40 it is, she said, rubbing the top of my head. You should be a lawyer. You'd be good at it. I tried to smile politely. Everyone says I would be good at what they're good at. And they might be right. but I don't know what I want to do yet. Been in college for 2 years and have done a lot of general ed type stuff. Technically, my major is music, but that was kind of a given. I've been a prodigy at the piano since I was like 14. Everyone assumed at some point I would just pick magic. It's easy to understand why. Music is how I got my scholarship, and many places would hire me to on the spot today. But yet, it felt wrong. Like, sure, playing was fun, and everyone liked hearing me play. But would it still be fun in 5 years? 10 years? Did I want my entire life to be based on that one skill? No, that I was sure of. Though college hasn't invoked any sort of passion in me. So for the moment, I was left somewhat envious of people like Leslie. She figured out what she wanted so fast. And I still had a few years of college, but I still had a few years of college. Perhaps I was just being too hard on myself. Les walked over to the table as she began filling up the plates with mac. She swept all the garbage off to the floor. I gave her a mildly disappointing look. Oh, oops. Uh, make it 50? She said with a nervous grin. I shook my head at the gesture, but couldn't help but laugh. So how's work been? Now, to pause real quick, this sneezes, because I know you definitely want a lot of writing advice. This is a classic ploy for exposition. So there's a plot happening. Emily doesn't know the full details, but her sister knows a lot of the details. So the simplest way to tell the reader, well, how's work been? And now, what's a natural answer for Leslie also tells the audience a lot. Fucking crazy. The string of arsons have just been getting worse and worse this week, she said in between what I can only describe as inhaling macaroni. And the cops are refusing to concede to the idea of a serial arsonist. Serial arsonists are fairly rare, though, aren't they? I asked. Yes, but so is a 560% increase in accidental fires in 2 weeks. Even if you just use the national numbers, it's a 300% increase. And to assume they're all just clumsy smokers in the area, just pitiful. I smiled. My sister was not only smart, but a hard worker. So you think the police are just being lazy then? Maybe. Probably isn't helping that the mayor is very anti-smoking, trying to pass a new bill. Don't you think You don't think the mayor's involved, do you? I asked. Of course not, but fear-mongering just to pass your own legislation is wrong. She stood up as she took a breath, just like just like her to stand up when she gets so worked up. And that is before you even count letting the serial arsonist off the hook by not looking for him or charging innocent people with the crime. Oh, I can't replicate Leslie's passion here. I smiled. If I could find anything I enjoyed half as much as she did her work, I knew I'd be just fine. Secondary characters fire the change in tone. You got all serious of a sudden. Well, yeah, it was a bit of a pivot. I did not plan on putting a bunch of fire emojis before the writing got into a string of arson. Ah, that was good. That was good, Sharnagi. Fear mongering, one word or two, I legitimately don't know. Well, I do know kind of. So how you just hyphenated fear mongering? I know the rules on hyphenating. So you're supposed to hyphenate a word when they are meant to be together. So, like, if you were to say someone is 5 years old, even though they're two different words, they're supposed to be connected. You're not supposed to read it as 5 years old. You're supposed to read it as 5 years old. So the hyphen is meant to connect them. But the thing is, almost no one does that, like, at all. Like, when it comes to hyphenating to connect words, people do it, like, for a couple of words that they know need to be hyphenated. But if you actually look at the rule and look at word combinations, there's like hundreds of combinations that should meet that criteria that no one does. So it kind of goes back to grammar is more a set of guidelines than it is rules. Uh, so yeah, I think monger in this case is like spreading, I believe. That's just my contextual clue giving it away. But so yeah, the real thing you have to think of when you're because this is technically a grammar issue. When you're thinking of grammar, the best thing you can think of is, will people understand what I'm saying? Because if they don't, then you didn't do it right. But if they do understand what you said, it doesn't matter if the grammar's correct. Uh, Marauding, uh, specific, gotcha. So specializing in a commodity. So fear mongering, specializing in fear. Got it. Sneezes with the receipts. Okay, let's go a little bit further. We haven't got to the real meat of the story yet. She grabbed the plates, walking over to the kitchen to try and break the awkwardness. Thanks for having me, I said. Thanks for cooking, she replied. I knew she had to get back to work, so I slipped my shoes back on and left. A short visit, and a simple one. One I did quite a bit. I was somewhat convinced that if I didn't occasionally cook for her, she would skip meals. On the walk home, I noticed a roar of fire engines rush past me. Another fire? The truck turned, but I could still hear that loud siren, so I realized it must have stopped just around the bend. My curiosity got the better of me, and I ran over there. Sure enough, the lobby of a hotel was on fire. I watched with bated breath. It didn't seem that large of a fire, but the workers seemed to panic almost instantly. I could overhear them mumbling. It's another resistant one. Is everyone out of the building? No, just the first few floors so far. Uh, oh, wait. Reading text. Very natural dialogue so far. Thank you, Sarge. It was truly startling as the full power fire hose drenched the lobby, and yet those fires seemed to almost delight in the drink. Those fires, they felt weird. It was like I could hear them roar. It didn't make any sense. But at that moment, I didn't really care. After all, people could die. I ran away towards the alley to avoid any eyes. I sat down. Both my hands flashed as magical gloves appeared on them. I set my fingers on the ground and began to pretend I was playing a piano. I needed to make more noise than just a snap to send this message. Help the firefighters save the people. I needed to keep the gloves on to keep my magic working, so I stuck my hands in my pockets as I rushed to see what was happening. The blasts of water that just moments before had done little except annoy the fire now quickly extinguished it. That was odd. I didn't expect the water to have an easier time putting the fire out. I just thought the water could help protect people and help them escape. I wonder what that meant. But for the moment, I just focused on the situation and saw people slowly coming out of the building. Everyone seemed stunned, most of all the firefighters. They were probably delighted at the realization that the flames weren't as resistant as they thought. Nice work, someone behind me whispered. I turned around to see a figure in a trench coat. He began walking towards the alleyway. Wait, I said, trying not to yell. If someone noticed my magic, I needed to know. Once in the alleyway, he turned and looked at me. His eyes, it looked like they had a yellow sclera. The sharpness of them stopped me in my tracks. Maybe this had been a mistake. Oh, before you cheat to look at more, though. Does anyone in the class know what sclera is? No? Someone? Uh, so sclera, if you don't know, is the white of your eye. So this particular man, where his eyes should be white, they're yellow, which actually is a sign of a medical condition. But that is not what I was going for here. Though the mislead is perfectly usable because I just wanted that creepy factor. Imagine a man in a trench coat with eyes that are yellow where they should be light, or they should be white. Uh, it's a creepy feeling, isn't it? Okay, we can resume. Uh, Divine One, he said. Glad to finally have found you. Divine One? What are you talking about? I asked. Oh, don't play coy. Only a fellow divine being could help them put out hell's fire, he said. I froze. Fellow divine being? So he had magic too? What to do? Don't worry. I don't seek a fight with you. It was only my task to confirm your existence in this city, he said with a slight drop of his tone. Why? I demanded. Don't know, don't care, just following orders, but word of advice. Be careful. Puzzle pieces are moving, he said as he turned around and kept walking. I wanted to ask more, but I was so scared. What did he mean? Wait, was he also scared? Is that why he answered my questions? Was he afraid of me? I ran back to my dorm room without pausing for anything else. I needed to get somewhere safe, somewhere I could think about this. Okay, let's stop right there. Somewhere I can think about this. Okay, what do you guys think? Yes, jaundice. Yellow sclera is a symptom of jaundice. But this particular character doesn't have jaundice. He is a demon. So, but what did you guys think as a little writing example? Do you like the plot? Is it intriguing? Uh, and just because I have art and I love art, let's pull up some art. Nope, not here. Personal writing. Art. Good. Ah, cool. They're all next to each other. Open with one viewer. And let us switch to art. Oh, crap. There we go. See. How can we make that better? Oh, there we go. Pull chat back up. It's good. It has a hook to it. It's intriguing. Reminds me of an anime I've been watching recently. So here is Emily. Well, sort of. This isn't her final design, but this was the first art of Emily. And you'll see that right here, she has the white gloves. So this was my first design for Emily. Cute boots. Ah, you notice the boots are a reference to an anime. But so this was my first design, and I was playing with the idea that she had three colors: white, black, and blue. Then I had someone else draw her with just white and blue. I didn't really like this quite yet either. Not only that, you'll notice this guy did a different top design, and this was my idea for a top actually originally, but when we look at this one, this top is actually so much better. Not only that, this top, the person that drew this actually looked up fashion from the era that the clothing was supposed to be in, and this sort of box shaped square met that fashion. So I was quite excited for that. I have a question unrelated to the magic girls, but rather Renetta. What weapons does she have? I've spaced out if you've mentioned it, but I don't have the motivation to reread her story. I don't think I mentioned her weapons in the Kizu story time, but I don't mind questions being off topic. Just so you know, Sneezes, Zatsu means free talk. Free talk means you can bring up whatever you want. So to answer your question, Renetta uses twin knives. So she uses one knife in each hand. So she dual wields like hunter style knives. I never decided if they would exactly be hunter style knives, but knives. She dual wields knives. And there's a special aspect to her knives is that the handle has a hollow spot in it that she can insert a crystal in to give it a magical affinity to that particular knife. So she can put in a red crystal to make it fire, like a blue crystal to make it ice. So she wears those crystals on her belt, and she uses two knives. I like I like the first one's mashed. Looks more like a tragedy comedy drama mashed. Yeah, well technically they were meant to be masquerade masks. I see her skirt has piano keys. Yes, that is a detail that was intentional. Uh so yeah, this one, well it's the same design for the mashed, but two different artists. But yeah, I liked this shirt way better. So we have that shirt going here. Um, I think I wanted this shirt to be different. And I realized I think the boots and it was just a little too much white and blue in the wrong mixture. But we also have her without the mask. And then we have the ultimate Emily, the final Emily design. I changed her glove design. You see the first two, the short lacy glove. I kind of liked. I don't know. It didn't feel as elegant as I wanted it to be. So the final design, we went with this. We got a longer lacy glove. The only thing I don't like about this picture is, get it full size there. The only thing I don't like about this picture is the artist like has this blue wavy effect right here. And the thing about this blue wavy effect is it tints the skirt right here. So the skirt is still meant to be white and blue. And here we added blue shoes instead of white to give it a bit more contrast. And yeah, so that was the final design for Emily. Doo-doo-doo. Looks like a flapper girl. Yes, that was somewhat the idea. So, Chernagi, you're here too. Do you have any thoughts, questions about the little story sample? So, I was going to order more knives anyways. I collect them. I wanted to use them for cosplay as as well as actual knives because why not? Oh yeah. So they should definitely be matching. Her knives would match because that maid aesthetic means that, she wants to look good. So she wouldn't be using two different knives. It would be the same knife for Renetta. Also, I love this artist so much. This is my screensaver right now because I love this art so much. How do you write dialogue? So I don't know. Dialogue's always kind of hit me the most naturally. I'm just a talker by nature, but hey, let's switch back to the there we go. So with dialogue, what? No, I don't need that. Dialogue. What are some examples here? So let's see right here. Divine one. I remember I used that specific phrase because the guy that's speaking's a demon. So I wanted him to have jargon that would be off-putting to her. like divine one, it has this like authority to it, and it puts her on her back foot. So that was very much intentional. But other than that, I just try to think very naturally. Like, so this demon has to speak, right? This scene is about them having a confrontation. And he opens divine one. It puts her on the back foot. He's nice, almost glad to finally found you. And then the question honestly is, I have a character, Emily. I fleshed her out. I know how she thinks. I know how she behaves. What would Emily say to that? And yeah, she would be confused. Divine one. Like, if you gave her a chance to think about a response, she would understand divine one is because she's magical. But she's not, like, prepping a paper. She shouldn't have time to reflect on it. She's scared. She's nervous. She's alone in an alleyway with a creepy dude. Just what would she blurt out? And I feel like that's a fair point. And then you kind of go back and forth. You see, I may not have known what this guy would be like yet. Like, I didn't have a fleshed out character. I still don't have a fleshed out character. This is a one and done guy that bumps into Emily. But the first line you write gives you details. Demon who uses old school language, for him at least. He has a polite mannerisms, so that we can kind of add to that. Like, he's still being soft and polite. Coy, is kind of another word like that. And yeah, at least in this case. Probably a better example of me with dialogue. People seem to think I do family dialogue pretty well. Uh so is it just how you would respond? Do you do something similar to method acting? Yeah, that's fair. I mean, for me, okay, so one of the things I love to do for character creation is I will walking, exercising in that case is my process. So I will walk around for hours thinking, how would this character react to certain situations? Because it's how a character reacts that really defines them. A character can have a complex backstory, but how that backstory causes them to behave differently in the moment is what makes that backstory relevant. So I love dialogue. I love thinking of how a character will respond. You get into their headspace, you know. So for example, this scene with Emily and her sister, she actually points out, it's a little deeper in, but where is it? Where is it? No, not the fire truck. See, so right here. So I knew she had to get back to work, so I slipped on my shoes, or my shoes back on and left. A short visit, a simple one I did quite a bit. I was somewhat convinced that if I didn't occasionally cook for her, she would skip meals. So this gives you a a insight into how Emily and Leslie treat each other. They're sisters. They care about each other, and Emily recognizes that Leslie would not eat because she's so passionate about her work if you didn't push food in front of her. So even though Emily's a college student, she goes to her sister's house to cook for her, not when she's asked to, but just to help her. And when you have that kind of that realization that that's their relationship, then that informs their dialogue. You get this kind of bond between them. Like, she comes in even though she wasn't sure her sister said she could, because she knows her sister well enough to know she can. um she jabs at her sister a little bit too, even like where was it? Oh wait, down here I think it is. I need to get a new chair, I think. No wait, chairs before the room. So she goes, I seriously, I need to invest in a new chair. Leslie's talking about her back aching a little bit from being in a bad chair all day. And Emily kind of jabs at her, like, yeah, but your room's a mess. Like, how would you get it through? They have this kind of banter. Neither one of them gets mad at this. And the thing is you can go in many different approaches here. So, for one example, you could think about how these characters will react to with each other. You could think they're caring, they banter with each other, they have a strong relationship, and then you can write that. Or you can do the reverse. That would be the pantser method. You can free write. I've done that too. When you free write, you can just write sort of a random exchanges of dialogue between them, and you let that dialogue tell the story of their connection. Uh, so I have an example of that. So let us switch to that example, actually. Since we're talking dialogue, let me pull that up. Books. Tarvis Tide, the original, chapter 8. I wrote this so many years ago, and yet, oh my god, I wrote this 8 years ago, and I still remember what chapter it is. I almost feel bad about that. Okay, let's see. Let's switch. Let's switch this real quick. Tarvis Chai. Oh, that is way bigger than we need that. Duke. No. Okay, how are we gonna thinking Ooh. No, no, I don't like that. Give me a second. Darn it. Ah, there we go. Shrink this down. Then we can span this back. Oop. There we go. You're back. I'm back. Did you miss me? Okay. So it's a little bit still, but that's fine. We can work with this. So, uh, I've talked about this before, but I think this is still a really great example of what you're talking about. So I'll use it as an example. Um, so in this scene, different story. A character named Jacqueline or Jackie. She needs to go home for a family reunion. And all that needed to happen technically was that she needed a phone call to oh wait. Donna? Oh, okay, no wait. We yeah, okay, sorry. I thought it was the wrong chapter for a second. All we have to do is get Jackie to get a phone call to tell her to go home. But that doesn't happen because I realized that was boring. And instead, I created this character that was meant to be a foil to Jackie. So while Jackie is, stoic and silent and serious, this girl is the reverse. She's carefree, she's upbeat. And I decided that I wanted her to be the reverse, but exactly how far that, well, actually, this was 8 years ago. I might have forgot that. I'm not sure I decided I want her to be a foil. I might have decided it from this. But either way, this works as an example. So I have this character, Lisa, coming in. I did not create this character until this page. This character did not exist until this page. And I just kind of went with the random ideas in my head that I thought were interesting. And the first thing we have here is, let's see, when she opens the door, opening the door, I saw two twin hoot swords sticking out of my coffee table. So, immediately it gives you the sense of a threat, like weapons are sticking out of your table. How are you supposed to take that? Except she lets out a sigh because she knows who did this. It's her younger sister who's a brat, you know? And since she knows it's her sister, she's not scared, she's annoyed. And, so we have her being annoyed at this idea of her little sister. And remember, I did not know what the little sister was going to be like at this point. I wrote this page before she was officially created. This was me going, this was me saying, hey, instead of just someone calls Jackie telling her to go home, what if Jackie's ninja sister appears and messes with Jackie telling her to go home? And that was all I had at the moment. I didn't have a deeper character. And then we go that she can't find Lisa because Lisa's a ninja. So even though she knows Lisa's in her house, she also knows she's not good enough to get her to find her. So she has to concede and say something that she knows will make her sister come out. This is essentially her tapping out and saying, just come out already. I don't want to play. And then you hear it. So you get that relationship. That again, that core factor I knew. Like, if she's gonna let out a sigh and she's annoyed, that's because they have a relationship, an established relationship. So if she does something that is essentially I give up, then yeah, her sister concedes to that. She taps her on the shoulder. She comes out from hiding. Not only that, she goes, "What up, sis? You take ugly ID photos." ID photo away. I patted my back pocket. It was empty. So her sister, while hiding from her in her house, also stole her wallet. And it gives you all of this wackiness. But the thing is, with the character of Lisa, I wrote all of this sort of randomly. And then I decided to create a character around Lisa. I went to that stage of, hey, what should Lisa do? What should Lisa's backstory be? Why is Lisa the way she is? Those are questions I answered after I wrote this. And that can still be useful because when you ask those questions, you can start to formulate words. When you ask those questions in that order, Sarge remembers this character. Yeah, we talked about this character last time. I don't mean to talk about the same character again, but it comes up to a good point here is that so for an example, I decided that Lisa, while she is very showy in her confidence, she's actually a bit self-conscious. And the way I show that is through the ID cards. Lisa has a habit where she steals people's IDs. She takes it as a mark of pride. If she's able to steal your IDs, she feels it's a personal victory. And that makes this obvious why she would do that to her big sister. A victory against her big sister makes her feel good. But the thing is when I wrote this, I didn't write this with the intent of this is showing her insecurities. No, this was just to piss off her sister. And because I thought it was funny. But you can go both ways with it. You can take a scene that is funny about Lisa pissing off her sister, and then you can spin it and explain it and give it an entirely different context. Because we find out, later in the story that Lisa steals IDs because it makes her feel better about herself. It is an addiction she has. She has a safety deposit box, or not safe. She has a safe in her room that's filled with nothing but stolen IDs because collecting more of them is a way of her self-medicating against her own sadness. But yet, most people don't see that sadness of her. Even Jackie doesn't see it. Jackie just thinks her sister's trying to, you know, piss her off. And, but Lisa really feels a sense of validation from the fact that she succeeded. She stole her sister's ID. Okay, I got really off track there. Did that help somewhat answer your question, Shernagi? There's a lot of approaches you can take with writing. When it comes to dialogue specifically, I do think there's two methodologies I would generally take. One is, are the characters just chilling and talking back and forth? Or is there a point to the conversation? Because if there's a point to the conversation, then, that can kind of help you guide yourself in. Hey, this conversation, I need them to explain something. That's somewhat true here too. In this conversation, I know that eventually Lisa has to point out, hey, Dad sent me to get you to come to the family reunion. So eventually the conversation has to go there. But other times you can have characters just talking because they're there, So yeah. I know I've been a creative writer for over a decade at this point. But I've never really prepared myself as a teacher for it. I can just kind of talk about what I know. Though, while it's not a question any of you guys directly asked, oh, uh, also sneezes. I bought some pink-handled hunting knives to match my maid dress. So soon, a lore accurate Renata cosplay, or close to lore accurate as I can be. Yeah, that's nice. Funny enough, I didn't see Renata as a pink person, but I might make her pink just so that you are correct that you have a lore accurate Renata. Plus, pink's a good color. Why not? Uh oh, fun fact too. No, we won't do that right now. So, Tarvis Tide, this story, which is oh wait, nope, I don't have it on screen. Oh well. This story, Tarvis Tide, is I think one of the better examples of me as a writer. Um. Wait, I was curious if you have any difficulty developing dialogue for evil characters. No, honestly, for evil characters, I probably find it easier. Evil characters tend to be a lot more showy, a lot more like dramatic, a lot more bombastic. That's easier. You want a big bad to be like, I am the most badass person since, they invented sliced bread. You just go ham with it. Well, what do I have difficulty when it comes to dialogue? I would say the only time I have difficulty with dialogue that I can think of is when I realize that what I wanted the characters to say doesn't really match what they would say. So I'll have moments, for example, where I'm like, hey, these characters will group up and they'll agree to go west, right? As an example, characters group up and they agree to go west. And I think about having a character say, we should go west. And I realize, why would he just say that? And what would he say? And I'll think about that. I'll think, when this character meets up with this character, what would he naturally say? And then I realize, crap, these guys wouldn't naturally go where I need the plot to tell them to go. And then I'll have problems. That's also a big problem. What did my homie Sliced Bread do? He was the bar that I had to surpass. uh, that's where I find more difficult with dialogue. The other time I find dialogue difficult is when I realize that I want to say a lot. Like, there'll be moments where I want to say 10 things, and I'm writing the things I want my characters to say in dialogue, and I realize, oh shit, this is a really good natural endpoint for this conversation. The characters are like ready to walk away, and I'm like, but I didn't say the thing I wanted to say yet. And, I'll sometimes scroll up and be like, can I fit it in somewhere else? And sometimes the answer is no. And this comes back to a classic example of kill your darlings. Sometimes an idea you really love, you have to abandon because you want dialogue to feel natural. So if you realize, hey, this dialogue is getting really long winded, and there's no real reason for these characters to continue talking, even though I want them to keep talking because I want them to say something I think is cool. Sometimes you just have to scrap it, So yeah, I guess it kind of because for me, when it comes to writing a scene, I think about the scene almost like an anime. So dialogue comes naturally to me because that's what I'm thinking about. When I'm walking around in circles, I'm thinking visually, I'm thinking characters walking up to each other and talking, and I'm thinking of what they would say back and forth. So dialogue that's back and forth I find pretty easy in that case because direct dialogue is also a pretty easy way to showcase a character. A character saying their direct thoughts, is an easy way to express them. So and that's what I do. When I'm walking around, I don't think writing in the sense of like there was a lush green meadow. No, I picture something in my head and then I translate that to paper. So I guess in that sense, I am very dialogue focused. Uh, I haven't really thought about ending the scene early when the dialogue should naturally end too much. Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Is you got to remember from a reader's perspective, once the characters feel like they should be finished, a reader will often be like, "Why are they still talking?" And when you start explaining stuff that doesn't need to be explained, a reader will notice that, and a reader will be like, "Oh my god, I want to get to the next part. Why are they talking about next week? Like, shut up, go on." So yeah, it's a really good thing to think about. So okay, so fun fact about this story, because I think Tarvis Tide is also a really good example of plotting. Because Tarvis Tide, without, reading a big chunk of it, Tarvis Tide is about a girl, Jackie, who is going through a midlife crisis. And as a result, she takes on a mission. She's a mercenary. And she takes on a personal mission, which, if she were paying more attention to herself, she would know is a big no no. She ends up saving a guy and his business from gangsters, and in doing so, well, let me back up a page. I should explain this from a writer's perspective, not just a pitch perspective. I wanted this opening scene to be a demonstration of how badass Jackie was. Jackie solos a freaking gang, and oh god, that probably sounded dirty. Well, already said it. Moving on. But Jackie, takes on this big challenge by herself and succeeds. And I realized that I had an idea for a bigger plot, but there was no reason for the two to be connected. And I asked a bunch of writers, hey, is it okay if I have like an opening plot that isn't connected to the main plot? And every writer told me, no. No, 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 no. You do not want let's just do an average here. This page right here, this file is 4 pages. If it's chapter 8, that would be 48 pages. You do not, wait, that would be 32 pages. Math is apparently not my strong suit. 32 pages. You do not want 32 pages of content that does not directly relate to the next part. And I had a real challenge about that because I'm like, the opening of the story needs to be Jackie displaying that she's awesome. And then I realized I have a perfect solution here. So Jackie ends up killing someone in this, well, we don't, 32. We don't necessarily know if all the chapters are the same length, but Jackie in this opening plot ends up killing someone. And I have that being the connection, that the person that attacks her later on in the middle of the book is mad about who she killed. So I found a way to connect them. So in that case, our chapters, just to give a brief recap, chapter 1, 2, and 3 is just sort of Jackie realizes the mob's around. Jackie beats up some mobsters. Chapter, I think 5, Jackie beats up the main mobster. So she wins the day, right? Then you get 6 and 7, which are kind of aftermath of that big battle. And then chapter 8, Lisa, her sister comes to town to tell her to go home. And it's when she's at home that the person that's angry about the person she previously murdered comes back to get her. Whew. I see the chat went down to 2. Did I lose someone, or is my stats just telling me? No, I bet all 3 of you are still here. I bet Trinadi would say goodnight if she was leaving. Okay, well, while we're doing this, let's turn that one off real quick. Because I actually, since you mentioned bad guys, I actually really love this one particular bad guy. Yeah, okay, that's good enough. Let's see. Actually, can we? Yeah, make it a little bigger. Sarge is still here. I figured so. Present and accounted for. So, oh, okay. Well, we'll go back a chapter. I think he was introduced in the last chapter. So let's go back one. Why not? Capture 4. Okay. Bring chat back. Bring the document up. And we'll make this one a little wider too. Let's scroll down to the bottom. Oh yeah, I love this moment. Let's see. Let's see. As I approached the front door, it burst open with 10 guards and a suit. And what she means by suit is, this is just Jackie's personal slang. She means a businessman in a suit, not a fighter. And kill her. Oh wait, attack me and die, I said. It was probably more frightening when you take into account at this point I had nearly 30 guards around me on the ground. Kill her, goddammit, the suit shouted, and one man fired a rifle. I dodged the bullet as I stabbed my hook in the ground. I pulled my revolver and fired one shot, killing the rifleman. That was enough. The other men dropped their guns and began running. The suit tried running too. I shot him in the leg and pulled my hook out of the ground. By hook, she means hook sword, specifically a Chinese style hook sword. That is her preferred weapon. Walking up to the suit, I dragged him back into the house by his ankle while he wailed in pain. The pantsy screamed after just one bullet to the thigh. Please don't kill me, he pleaded. I pulled him forward so that he slid across the ground as I released him from my hook. What room is your boss in? He pointed to the door on the second level, and moments after, I stabbed him in the chest with my hook's base. I warned you. An order of attack is an attack. So she's killing him because he said, kill her, goddammit. Like, that's Jackie. She's you don't cross Jackie, but she fights more. This is a whole big fight thing. Let's see. The room, so I think this is where she meets the bad guy, the one that matters. The room was clear. I walked to the boss's room and kicked the door down. Nathaniel was shaking as the few people in the room drew weapons. I only want the boss. If you drop your weapons and run, you can all live. They did just that. Nathaniel screamed at them as they did, but they otherwise didn't listen. You know, when nearly a third of your guys quit, doesn't count as 100. So this is referencing a previous piece of dialogue where Jackie warned him, like, hey, I want to talk. I'm giving you a chance to talk. And he goes, I have like 100 guys. Why would I talk? Yeah, it doesn't count as 100 if, 30 of them run. Wait. Oh, is that all I had? So this one really ended right at the end. What do you want? He asked frantically. I heard a man approach from behind me. If it ain't Jacqueline Tarvos, it is good to see you again. Nathaniel breathed a sigh of relief. His master assassin made it in time. I was fine with that. Actually, I was surprised it took him so long. I turned to face him. People that know my real name, because she goes by Jackie, but Jacqueline is her birth name. People that know my real name usually know it's the quickest way to piss me off. So was that a mistake or on purpose? Let's go to 5 now. Oh, cool. Pulled up right automatically. So I love this bad guy. He's so delusional. Come on, come now, Jacqueline. Surely I am an exception to such a silly rule, he said. I clenched my fists. For one, I'm not interested in you. Walk away and live. 2, if you say that name again, I'm breaking something attached to you. And lastly, who the fuck are you and what do you think? Or like, who the fuck are you that you think you're exempt? So this guy's delusional. Oh, what a silly play. You think you can upset me by pretending you forgot about me? We know better, don't we, Jacqueline? Oh wait. Can I stretch this out a little more? I want you guys to be able, I don't want to block it. That's it. I'm breaking something. I'm not sure what yet, but something. I rushed towards him, my hook swords ready for his blood. He ran back at me with an impressive level of speed. He was no slob, that was for sure. But his blocking stance was just plain odd. He put both of his arms side by side. His clothing was hiding a bracer. There was no other reason he would be so willing to block. Even still, it was strange. I was known for my strength. To dare block a shot from me was risky. The ting sound of our metals clashing echoed through the room, as expected, but it made little difference. It wouldn't be the first time I shredded armor with my blade. Yet before I felt a jerking motion. His armor had barbs. He had caught my hooks in both bracers and began to pull from opposite directions. Hook swords are thin and light, so they shattered against this kind of attack. Without missing a beat, a pair of spikes launched from his gauntlet and he punched me in the stomach with them. Blood began leaking out my side. No time to stumble, though. I grabbed his arms before he could launch a second strike and headbutted him as hard as I could. He fell on his ass, shaking his head as I fell to my knee to try to regain composure from my newly acquired hole. I didn't have time to hesitate. I formed aura in my hand and began to create flame. Nothing spectacular. I didn't edit this one as well. Nothing spectacular, but more than hot enough to seal the hole I had. Burning my flesh to stop bleeding was a bit more painful than I last remembered. Been a while since I was forced to do such a move. I knew you were hard-headed, my love, the assassin said, shaking his head. But wow, that was intense. And see, I knew I wanted this guy to be creepy. So we have Jacqueline or Jackie, who doesn't even know who this guy is, and newly acquired hole. You like my phrasing, don't you? And then we have this guy saying, my love? Like, creep, right? My love. I clenched my sword for a moment before tossing it away. His bracer was designed for it. And if I didn't know better, I would say his speed was specifically for me too. Just who the fuck do you think you are? I asked. If it will make you happy to play along, then fine. I am Leroy Shturkovich, honored member of the House of Shturkovich, a noble assassin family of China. I scratched my head. There were a few dozens of noble assassin families. Most were posers that had only been around a few years. They didn't normally last. He seemed stronger than that, but the name wasn't ringing a bell. Oh, come on, he shouted. This isn't funny anymore. I still remember the first time we met. You were in an aquamarine dress at the annual Tarvas celebration. Oh, how do I come up with names? Uh, my new methodology has been asking Chernagi. No. Okay, I will answer that. So given names, first names, I usually just kind of go randomly. I think first names don't really matter. Surnames, I do try to put a little more work into. With Tarvos, I actually just spat out garbled syllables until I thought I said something cool. And I typed out what I spelled, and it was Tarvos. And then I looked it up, and Tarvos is actually a real word. So I was like, okay, I'll go with that. Sturkovich, I don't remember how I came up with that. Yeah, no, I don't remember anything about how I came up with that. So yeah, I literally just garbled syllables until I landed on something that I thought sounded cool. Though the real word Tarvos is spelled with one S. I did two S's. You were in an aquamarine dress at the annual Tarvos celebration. Your father invited our entire family. Me in a dress? I haven't done that since I was a kid. Wait, I was 6 when I wore that. You're seriously referencing something from over 25 years ago? You want to know my little secret? I described the character's personality and defining characteristics into ChatGPT, and it spits out a bunch of names. Chernagi with the strat. But yeah, so when you talk about villain, here's one I'm a little proud of, because of just how creepy he is. I knew I wanted this guy to be creepy, and just how creepy is that? He's like, this isn't funny anymore. I remember when we first met, you were wearing a dress. Just like, 25 years ago. It wasn't the only time we met. I remember watching you fight in the 75th annual Youth Tournament of Asia. We were supposed to be in the finals together. It was the day I realized you were to be my queen. Again, referencing events from so long ago. Though it told me all I needed. He was referencing a moment we didn't even meet. I dropped out of the finals because I was sick. I never saw him. Yet this guy was referencing it as if it was some as it held some special meaning to me. He's just a fucking creep. I drew a tanto, that's a style of knife, and a pistol. I was gonna have to move faster to keep up with him. Uh, don't sleep on ChatGPT. It works. It's how I got Renena and Juniper. I don't have like a subscription to it. Don't you need like a subscription to ChatGPT? He smiled as he ran towards me. Show me the kind of spirit I expect from my queen. His attacks were still as agile as ever, and his weapon was a bit more nimble than mine, but he wasn't going to stop me. The gun was less a weapon in this case and more a limiter. It had limited his range of movements, which harshly lowered his option. Any reduction in his speed was a blessing given my injury. It also served as a red herring, as I was sure his move was going to be to remove it. I could fight him in that regard, but I figured a smarter option would be to let him have the gun at the right moment, of course. As expected, he went to knock the gun out of my hand, and the moment he did, I simply abandoned the gun and used my hand to catch his other hand. While he was busy, I dropped to my knee, slamming my tanto straight into the center of his foot. He cried in pain and flinched. I rose up and punched him straight in the jaw. I would have lifted him into the air if not for the fact that I pinned him by his foot. As he fell to his back, he drew he drew and threw a knife, causing me to stumble back before I could continue my offensive moves, my offensive campaign. Like lightning, he rolled back up, pulled the tanto out quickly. It was clear he was not used to that kind of injury. I reached around my back to pull out my rope dart. Beyond a few knives, it was the last weapon. He smiled. Running out of gear, my dear? See, just, like, just, just still, he was using terms of endearment as they're fighting. Like, isn't he gross? And when you talk about, how do you write dialogue for a villain, I mean, yeah, he wears his motivation on his sleeve. He thinks that Jacqueline loves him and that all of this is some, like, complex date. Uh, most people wouldn't be used to that kind of injury. ChatGPT is free. All you need is an account. There is a ChatGPT 4, which does require a subscription, but regular old ChatGPT is completely free. I did not know that. Well, cool. Now I know. I'll have to look into that. I swung my rope dart at him. He rolled out of the way, but flinched once he finished. Moving so suddenly was taxing to his injury, which, from a tactical point, was why I was doing this. He rolled next to the gun he pulled out of my hand before catching the rope. He began to pull, fine by me. He had to coil it around his arm. It would probably take him a moment to pull away, so I ran towards him. You should have minded your surroundings better. It was always your problem, Jacqueline, he said, grabbing my gun. The fool didn't realize my gun was booby-trapped and only worked in my hand. Click was the sound of the failing gun made. The look of shock on him was priceless as I punched him in the face so hard he cracked the wall behind him. As he attempted to stand, I got behind him and coiled my rope around his neck, taking a break only to launch a knife at Nathaniel, who was trying to sneak away. I love that added detail. Like, she doesn't look at Nathaniel. She's tying a rope around this guy's neck, and she just randomly tosses a knife to her right, and the knife hits the wall right. Oh wait, the knife hits his hand, so it doesn't even hit in front of him. It literally hits his hand, pinning him to the wall. Like, she wasn't even looking directly at him. All peripheral vision. Just, oh, sorry. I'm just gushing a little bit. Leroy attempted to grab the rope around his neck. I held his chin as I began punching him in the forehead until he became more or less limp in my grasp. I saw Nathaniel trying to remove the knife. Wait your turn, I sneered. Tensing the rope around his neck in my hand, I placed my foot on the back of his neck. So, fun fact, my original idea here was actually going to be for Jacqueline to jump in the air and put the rope around like a ceiling item to literally hang him. But then I realized Jacqueline got stabbed in the stomach. She's not really the best when it comes to aerial gymnastics, even when she's uninjured. But she's injured, so I was like, no, no, no. She's she puts the rope around his neck. She puts it in her hand. She places her foot on the back of his neck. I told you I was gonna break something. I whispered into his ear. I pushed my foot and pulled my arm. So she pulls the rope, tensioning it. As she uses her foot, she just snaps his fucking neck like a twig. The sound was so loud it echoed through the room. Any would-be listeners outside probably heard the crunch as Leroy fell to the ground dead. Unfortunately, the move had reopened my burnt side, so I was bleeding again. Not as bad, but I needed to wrap this up. Nathaniel looked at me like he was gonna shit himself. I placed my foot on the handle of the knife, pushing it deeper into his hand. Do I have your attention? He just sat there, eyes glued to me, frozen with fear. I pushed the knife in a bit more. That was the question. Yes, please don't. Shut up. I want answers, not statements. Understand? Uh, yeah, jumping up and doing acrobatics with a newly acquired hole would hurt like crazy. Uh, yeah, shut up. I only want answers, not statements. Understand? I said, smiling at him. He nodded as he began to sob a bit. Bet you wish you took my deal now. Also, don't answer that. So here's the thing. You stole from a store I liked. I don't want that to ever happen again. You're doing this because I muscled some shop out of a few but he screamed as I let the knife go. Wait, I let go of the knife with my foot and grabbed it with my hand, twisting it. Are you saying my reason was too arbitrary for you? He clenched his face as he shook his head no. So here's the deal. I let you live if you do me a favor. I want you to spread the word of what happened here. I want your rivals so scared of evoking my wrath that they never steal in this town. Is that clear? He nodded. Good. And please take your time to do a decent job, because if I have to take on one of your rivals because you failed, I'm going to kill you after. Got it? Yes, he said as he began shaking. I smiled, pulled the knife out, and dropped it in his lap. Good. You can keep the knife. Call it a reminder of today. And that is Jacqueline Tarvos. So what did you guys think of Jacqueline? She's a she's a bit crazy. Also, water hydration check. That last line is sinister. Yeah, Jacqueline is essentially a villain in her own right. She just, in this case, happens to be a villain to the bad guys. Uh, so, actually, I got one more scene to show you for Jacqueline. And here's the funny thing, and this is an advice I want to give to all writers, is sometimes your intentions and what you want your scene to be are going to be wrong. I wrote this scene trying to make it like this dark and eerie and, showing that Jacqueline wasn't necessarily a good person. And without fail, every person I showed this scene to laughed. And not in a bad way. They loved the scene. They just laughed. And it was always my first question of like, why are you laughing? And everyone was like, it's just so funny and it's awesome. And I was like, and I had that realization of like, okay, this is a funny scene. I didn't realize I wrote a funny scene, but I have, and now I should accept that. So this is chapter 2, same story, just earlier before she gets to the, the gain part. No, OBS. OBS. No, not you. There we go. Got everything up. So to summarize what happened up to this point, a guy tried to rob the store. She didn't like that. She beat the shit out of him, and she knocked him unconscious, and then she transported him to a storage unit. And now she's just waiting for him to wake up. Let's see. Actually, I love this part. Once he was actually, no, let's go up a page. Let's go up. Right here. I turned my tripod light on and closed the garage door. After all, this was a private party. Not that it mattered. I had selected the storage complex because it had off-site management, so the odds of any foot traffic was low. I set him in a chair and got some cloth, wire, and rope. The cloth was to prevent rope burns because I was a professional, and as such, I am a professional, not was. Because I am a professional, and any harm that comes to him will be because I decided it will be there. Only amateurs allow harm to occur out of laziness. I just feel like that line goes so hard. She's planning to torture this man, but yet she puts rope around his wrists before she ties rope around it so that she won't accidentally rope burn him. You will not have signs of her injuries unless she decided. So once he was secured in place, there was little to do beyond wait. Thankfully, I always had a few books in the storage unit. I found A Dreamer's Sky, a classic. For the reference, this reference right here, the title, is a reference to a book a friend of mine was writing. I'm not sure if they ever published it, but I used the title as a reference to them being my friend. I didn't have a second chair, though, so I curled up against the storage door and began reading. If he woke up before I reached chapter 3, I was breaking his foot. A short while later, he began moaning as he woke up. Looking at the top of the page, I was still on chapter 2. I got up and returned the book before he became fully aware of his situation. It's bad form to allow a hostage to see anything personal. It can give them a way to try to relate to you. And this is another bad guy, except this bad guy isn't your mastermind bad guy. This is your like classic mook, your low level bad guy. They're still pretty fun and easy to write because you kind of expect them to say the same thing over and over. In this case, him being like, him waking up tied to a chair. He's like, what the fuck? He said, slurring. Yes, I know. My setup here is not exactly ideal. I replied as I patted him on the shoulder. While I may be a professional, this is not quite my favorite activity. You're dead, bit. I stomped on his foot and he wailed in pain. Watch your mouth. Just because my setup isn't perfect is no reason to be rude. He bit his lower lip as he stared at me with squinted eyes. I doubt I had broken his foot yet, but it was a start. Okay, I said as I smiled. It's important to show people in this situation that... Oh, wait. I read that wrong. I thought she was saying that out loud. No. Okay, I said as I smiled. It was important to show people in this situation that you're not off put by hurting them. Otherwise, they struggle with this hope that you will give up. Ground rules first. You're allowed to scream. This place is, well, let's just say no one's trying to hear you. I squatted down next to him. Rule 2. And this is an important rule. I pointed to the thread wrapped around the arm of his chair and waited for him to see it. This is tied to a weight. You can see it from you can't see it from your position, but if this thread breaks, I reached up and touched a rope around his neck. This is going to get really tight. So I don't recommend wiggling. Is that clear? So yeah, going back to the she's a professional thing. If he tries to wiggle out of his chair and like get it to fall sideways to break open, he's going to hang himself. Do you have any idea what my boys are going to do to you for this? He said, practically splitting. I stomped on his foot again. I believe I asked you a question. Yes, you fucking whore. I stomped on his foot again. I could feel some of his bones crack this time. Language. He tilted his head back and clenched his jaw. He was practically in tears after a broken foot. What a little bitch. Also, let's not kid ourselves. You're like, what? An entry-level grunt? Your boys are more likely to kill you for failure than help you. What do you want already? He asked. Which, perfect moment. He's starting to show contrition. He's starting to break. Name and addresses. I want to meet the boss, I replied. He tilted his head away. I ain't telling you shit. We were doing so well there for a second. I stood up, walked over to the tripod. Let me make this clear. If I don't get what I want, you die. I pointed to the tripod in his face for a few seconds before turning it off. So this is another approach that she's doing to be very specific. Putting the tripod closer into his face to like blind him with light, then turning it off. He won't be able to see anything for a moment. Because his eyes will be adjusted to brightness, and now that it's completely pitch dark in there. You'd be surprised how darkness helps the mood. It was a favorite trick of my grandfather. He loved missions like this. To him, it was a challenge to see how much you could make someone spill without hurting even a hair on them. I tapped on his shoulder. He shuddered in fear. You see, my father believes that with enough pain, anyone will talk. I happen to think that's a bit unfair myself. Get away from me, he said with a stutter. I assume he finally managed to hold the curse that so eagerly wanted to escape his lips. Good, he was learning. I stole his cell phone as I returned to the tripod, turning it back on. Do you have any idea what they would do to me or my family if they found out I ratted? He asked, shaking. Oh yeah, sure, he's a victim. He deserves compassion. Maybe to some degree that was right, but not fully. I remembered the look in his eyes. He enjoyed picking on Eric. Just the thought made me clench my fingers in anger, or in tightly. Words. Then again, it was partially true. Whether it was partially true or completely fake really didn't matter. Here's the thing, I said while pulling up the apps on his phone. I don't care, but I do try to be fair. Personally, I'm rather confident that your little gang here is going to be way too focused on other things to even think about you or your family. But if you care that strongly about it, I'm going to give you one way out of this. I set the phone down in front of him with a timer programmed to 6 minutes. Oh, okay, he said with a shaking tone. If it was fear or excitement, I couldn't quite gauge. I'm going to give you 6 minutes to reconsider helping me. If you don't change your mind, then we're done. Simple, right? I asked as I started the timer. He just stared at me with raised eyebrows, clearly confused. I could have elaborated on what I meant, but it was better this way. It was better for him to sit there, wondering and thinking, while waiting for the first minute to finish. I went to the trunk and I pulled a revolver from it. 5:34, the clock ticked on as I got back in front of him. 5:20. Sweat was dripping from his face as his eyes darted violently back and forth between me and the clock. 5:07. Last chance, I said. He remained silent, and I shot him in the foot I didn't already break. If my aim was good, I nailed him right in the lateral cumniform. Oh my god, he cried out in pain. You stupid fucking whore. I stomped on his broken foot again. I thought he had learned the value of not calling me names. I guess not. I reached around, giving him a hug, and leaned in real close. I opened the chamber of my revolver, showing him the 5 remaining bullets. Do you get it? He looked away, clenching his teeth. I asked you a question, I whispered into his ear. Yes, he shouted. From the scream of pain and the show and tell in my revolver and the clock had already dropped to 4:30. You're running out of time, I said as I pointed my gun at his knee. Wait, just give me a minute, he shouted. You still have 4, I replied as the clock reached 4 minutes exactly. I shot him in the kneecap. He screamed in pain as a trail of blood ran down his leg. I shot him in the other leg too, to prevent the 2 blood paths from doubling up, which meant, to sum up, he had a broken left foot, had been shot in the right foot, and the left knee. Walking most certainly wasn't in his near future. The dark humor is funny. She tries to be professional, but it makes her actions only more sinister. Right? A lot of people found comedy from this scene. And like I said, Jackie is very much a villain in her own right. Let's see. Being shot bat to bat seemed to be having a toll on him as his breathing became fast and shallow. Not that I particularly cared, but it did mean the timer had already sort of jumped on him before he seemed to regain the ability to speak. I placed the barrel of my gun on his dick. Okay, I'll tell you, he shouted. Nope, not how this works. You answer a question before the timer stops. Okay already. What? He demanded, probably because the clock had already hit 3:20. Name of the group. The E-State Gang. Yes, I suck at naming, so that was just me randomly thinking of a name. I paused the clock at 3:03. Then I patted him on the head. Good boy. We both know it now. I owned him, like a dog. His head dropped down, a clear sign of resignation. Okay, so who is the big boss? I don't know, he replied. I grabbed his chin and pulled him up to look at me. Then I directed his vision to the phone as I tapped the barrel of my gun against it. I don't know, he repeated louder. Really? I think I saw a tear form in his eye. It's the sad truth, breaking someone down so completely. They become unable to function, and they're unable to function for you. I patted his shoulder. It's okay. I believe you. But you do know a boss. Who? His name's Henry, he replied. Henry what? I don't know. Pitiful. To not even know your direct boss's full name, I let out a sigh. It's what I got with dealing with amateurs. What else do you know about him? He lives on 79th Street and College Boulevard. It's by a mall, I said, interrupting. Do you have an address? He shook his head again. Pitiful. Anything else notable? He shook his head again. I began to walk away. I needed to stop his bleeding, but I could feel he was holding out on me. I thought I would test that. Hey, he said, almost sobbing. I told you everything. Please let me go. I turned back and laughed at him. I have to check your information. You will remain here until I do. But what if you lose? He asked with eyes filled with desperation. If I die, you die. Does that change your position on anything else being notable? His head dropped down. Every Wednesday afternoon he holds a poker game. It's the only time he bars visitors, but the players are all ex-military. I pulled a pencil out of my trunk and placed it near his mouth. Bite. Why? Now, I demanded. I was going to be nice and knock you out for this, but since you decided to hold out on me, now you get to feel it. I have to admit, I was not especially good at magic or the style of it, but I knew enough. I placed my hands together and began to fill them with energy. That part was easy. I could enhance my strength with magic by doing this. So it was a skill I was pretty good at, but right now, I didn't need more power. I needed fire. Focusing on that goal, I managed to summon a tiny ember between my hands. I wasn't planning anything special. It wasn't anything special to look at, barely the size of a golf ball, but it would do. I placed it over his bullet wounds. He screamed in an impressively loud voice, considering he was gripping a pencil with his teeth. With that done, I left. I had some paperwork to do in preparation for tomorrow. Okay, I think I've read enough of that. I don't want to bore you guys. But did you like that scene? I thought you might. Jackie's a psycho, isn't she? Also, wait, the dark humor is funny. She tries to be a professional? Are you saying Jackie is not actually professional? Jackie might be coming for you. Be afraid. No, I'm joking. Uh, bore us? Never. Uh, uh, crack, crack. Stretching. I like that the endings seem to have a dark tone for the last sentence of the chapters. No, no, she's a professional. Uh, so, um, but yeah, do you guys have any questions on writing that I can try to answer? You know, to kind of switch the tone back to writing. Oh no, no, Jackie. So, let's see. I know Sarge has seen a picture of her, but Sharnagi hasn't, so let's see. Order art. Oh, no. Open with one viewer. And let's see, pull it up in here. Oh, here we go. So this, I have two pieces of art with Jackie. This was the first art I got. Um, at the beginning of the stream, I had more general questions about writing your stories. Do you think that including diversity among your characters is important? Um, so yeah, yes and no. I definitely think there's a lot of value to be added by being diverse, but I would never want to do that randomly. So when it comes to so a character like Jackie, she's a perfect example. She's white, right? Obviously, you can see she's white. She has the trademark things that Tarvos family members have: green eyes, blonde hair. So she's a Tarvos, you know. There's nothing about the Tarvos history that precludes her being white. She could be any ethnicity and that would work. But, you know, she was written as a white girl in that sense. And the thing is when it comes to creating your character, I would never want to just randomly roll an ethnicity. when you create a character with with a different background like that, I personally think that you should put more thought into it, or thought into it. So in my case, I guess, I'm a white girl. I White girl, writing a white girl, it's more my standard. And I would be happy to write characters with ethnicities, and I have written characters with different backgrounds, and I think that's absolutely valid. But you want, because there's a few processes here. One, you don't want to be disrespectful to anyone, and two, you definitely want to write what you know. If you don't think you can tell a story with someone in that ethnicity, then you shouldn't do it, essentially. This goes back to an expression: write what you know. If you think you can tell a good story about a character in this different ethnicity that is going through this personal challenge that, is this heartwarming story, absolutely do it. But if you're not sure you can, don't try to force yourself to do that. Write a good story first, and yeah. Well, it goes back down to, someone else said this really better than I ever will a long time ago. Don't ever let someone tell you to write the story they want you to tell. Write the stories you want to tell. If they want a character, so let's say, for example, he was talking about gay characters because he was a gay man, and gay men have less, showings in stories. And what he said is, you should never ask someone to write a gay man for you so that you can read a story about a gay man. If you want more stories with gay men, you write it, you know, and write what you know, essentially. Is he was a gay man, he knew that, he wrote that because he wanted that. Now, you don't have to be a gay man, obviously, to write a story about a gay man, or any ethnicity in that sense. You don't have to be there to write that story, but you should write that story because you want to. You should be coming from that desire, because that desire to write that story would probably follow through with the well, maybe not the talent. You might not have the talent. It depends. That varies from person to person. You could suck when it comes to certain things, but it'll have the passion. Because if you want to write a story about a particular person of a particular background and you want to do it, then that'll make you more interested in getting it right. So I don't think you should ever avoid it, but I don't think you should ever specifically set out to do it unless you want to. That would be what I would say there. So if someone's mad you're not writing a story in the way they want it, tell them they should write it. Not as an insult either. This is not an insult or a backhanded compliment. This is, if you think the topic that you want to see is less represented, then represent it. It would be beautiful to see, because I'm not the one. uh, oh, fun facts. This was my first time getting this character drawn, and there's two things wrong. Well, not wrong, but there's a couple things wrong about this art. One is her hook swords. You see, the artist did them backwards. This hook should be facing the other way. The hook, this part, the crescent guard here, should be in line with the hook, but they're backwards. Now, the other detail is, let's zoom in, is you see how she has a mesh here? This comes in later in the story. She's not usually wearing this top. The hooks actually are magnetized to the black part of her shirt on the back, not the front, obviously. Because hook swords with this hook, you can't put them in like a traditional sheath, so they magnetize to her back. That's why so Jackie hates this top, but she admits it's really convenient to wear her hooks. The other thing is, a friend of mine told me, "Oh my God, why did you give Jackie boy shoes?" And I was like, "I'm not an expert on clothes." So eventually I got a second piece of art for Jackie, and that was this. And this, oh, uh, so this, my friend, I asked my friend, I just straight up asked her, like, I don't know what shoes Jackie should wear. She said, give her some boots. I'm like, okay. So now we got cuter shoes for Jackie. She's not wearing that top because she hates that top, which means the hooks are now in her arms. And yeah. Also, Tarvos, for the record, since I said it actually is a word, it's the name of one of the moons of, I think, Jupiter, maybe Saturn. So that's why I called the book Tarvis Tide, the moon's tide. She actually specifically has a code name, Suki no Tora, which translates to moon tiger. So, uh, yep, that makes sense with the handles. You wouldn't want guards with hooks facing that way. Yeah. Yes, that is very true. So the hooks are proper this time with the crescent and the hook the right way. Also, the detail of the sleeve on her arm is actually something happens, someone dies in Tarvistide, and their favorite color was blue. So she wore this arm thing around her arm, or this ribbon around her arm, to that person's funeral as a way of respecting them. And in this art, even though a lot of time had elapsed and they had been dead for a while, and this ribbon is flayed and just it's very torn up, she attached it to her hook sword as a reminder of the friend she lost. So yeah, bandana, yeah, that would Moon of Saturn. Ah, okay, I was close. Well, I knew it was one of the two. I thought it was Jupiter. Bandana. Yeah, bandana works. What the cloth specifically was, I wasn't sure. I did write in the story that it was cut up from something. Ribbon, bandana, both work. Just a piece of cloth. So she still keeps it there as a reminder of that person she lost. Ooh. Oh, let's see. Uh, I can show you most of my art of this particular story. I just have to skip a few. A few or not say so. Ooh. So let's see. I can go back to. Actually, will it go all the way in a circle? Let's see. OBS. Oh, cancel. Oh, ah. There we go. Chat. No, chat. And here, let's see. Oh, this was one of my favorite pieces of art for a long time. The artist that did this piece, so fun fact, the artist that did this piece, he does a lot of art for me, and he's a really good price, and he has good quality. But at the time when I commissioned this piece of art, I was thinking I wouldn't actually commission art from this person anymore. Nothing wrong with them. I just thought instead of getting 2 or 3 pieces from them, I could probably save up and get a better piece. And this piece right here blew me away so much that I decided that this person would be someone I would commission for the rest of my life if they kept having commissions open. And Actually, let's go down the rabbit hole. Let's see if I can find it. Draft. So I was a bit new at art still, and yep, I found. Oh wait, oh, gotta open it with the OneDrive. I was a bit new with art still and commissioning, and I had a very specific vision for this character's art, and I was nervous about it because it wasn't really something easy to tell. And I asked this guy if he could do it, and he's like, "Yeah, sure." And the first thing he sent me was it this? No, that's already got. There we go. It was this. And let's bring chat back up. Yeah, no, don't worry. I'm not planning to show any of the non say so art. Oh. So yeah, what he sent me was this, and for the price that I paid him, this right here, just this sketch, not even the finished art, I thought was worth the price. Because you might have guessed, but the idea to this art was that this girl, she comes from kind of a poor background. Not technically, she's actually pretty well off in the area for the area, but the area is pretty poor, and she's in a war, and they don't have enough money to get new equipment, so they tossed our armor into like a bin that you just find pieces that fit you. So this was him like, okay, so that'll be our clothes. He's thinking of different types of armor to showcase it. And I love this so much. But going back to the other one. Check. Oh, no. Not that one. This one. Going back to this being the finished product. I just love this so much. It shows it perfectly. We got, you know, these two are from the same set. This one is from a completely different set and it's broken on one side. This is from its own set. This one looks like it matches this one, so those three might have been the same set. But then this one's a different set. They're just I loved it. And she's also just such a ruthless girl. Just look at that face. Like, not smiling, a bandage on her, just like there will be no mercy. Though the funny thing is I got two pieces of art for this character, but the second one is so not in her style. So the war ended, and her people sort of had like their revolution. And the thing about her is that she was the princess of her people at the time. And her father died during the war, so she did elevate to status of queen. And she did a ceremony day with them where this was her being crowned the queen. And she absolutely hated this day. She hated wearing this dress. She hated everything about this day, but she did it, and she did it with the closest thing she could call a smile, because she understood that today wasn't about her. Today was about her people celebrating her ascension. So she just said, screw it. I know it'll suck for me. I don't want this, but you guys want it. So I'm going to smile and just try not to die of cringe. uh, yeah, the artist here too is one of the higher quality artists that I still commission today. Uh, but she still wait. This is so different, but she still was on the fleek. The fleek. I'm not sure I understand fleek. What about you, Chernagi? Are you liking seeing some more Kizu art? Let's see what the next one is. I know I'm safe as long as I go right. Left is the dangerous direction. Oh, this was the second piece of art I ever got done. Oh, I have to pee. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Ooh, I'm back. Now, it is getting late. Thinking if I should wrap the stream up. I could show some more art though. There's actually, well, no, let's switch to something else. Because I want to show you guys something. Actually, it's less about showing you guys something. And more, I want to test if I can do this on stream. Now I feel old. Oh, I guess Fleek is a decade old now. Choose my slang. Still looks good. Because another thing this was doing was testing my internet connection. And so far it's been doing great. I've used about 3 to 4 gigs streaming for the past 2.5 hours, but I've also only just streaming. I haven't been playing a game. So I want to turn on a game and I want to see if my usage spikes. So, and I know something that I think both of you missed. I think my memory is not the best when it comes to this. But either way, I'm going to turn it on and to see if this causes my internet usage to spike. I can come back to pictures if you want, though. We can always do that another time. Woohoo! Wait. Let's transform this. Fit to screen. Oop, be right back. I need to grab my controller. So, I don't think I showed. I don't think Zatsu and Game, we're eating good tonight. I could put a different game up, but the reason I picked this one is I know Sarge, I'm pretty sure, didn't see this. I don't remember if you saw this, Chernagi. But I've been building a big power base. It is loading a little slowly. Let's see. Alright. I died last stream, so... Oh. Why is it? Oh. Why isn't my controller not working? I'm in the game. I've been tempted to play... Not gonna lie. Oh, wait. Ah. Okay. We're gonna restart the game. I don't know what was going on there. My controller connected for like half a second, but then was like, nope. Okay, now we're connected. Ah. Gotta wait for it to finish loading before I can move the window. There you go. Any particular reason your character is designed like that, or... no, it was technically not a Connie Confetti reference. I know it does kind of look like that. I just like Twin Tails, and I like green, and I wanted to have a colorful character. And it didn't occur to me that I should make my character look like my model, so I was just picking what I like. Though I do that now. When I make characters in games, I do try to make them look like Kizu. Let me up. There we go. So, you? Darn it. Oh well. Everyone loves Twin Tails, right? I mean, Twin Tails are good. So this is the base I've been designing. It's going to be a twin tower base, funny enough. So there's the first section. And then there's this middle section. And then over there. So what I'm planning is for that tower and this section to both be two towers going up. And then the middle where my base actually is going to be much smaller. But it's still going to be bigger than this. So, oh wait. Go up higher before you run out of energy. So yeah, I'm planning for all three sections to go up higher, but the two towers are going to go up a lot higher. It's going to take me a while though, as you can tell. It's a pretty big base. Actually, on last Tuesday's stream, we learned something interesting about my base. Which was... Let me go so I can show it. I'll call you back. So yeah, this is the 5th floor, technically. There's no roof for the 5th floor yet, though. So there's a 6th floor I'm developing over there. The one over there only goes to 4 floors because I want to build one tower up first. I think it'll look cooler if I build one full tower and then I start building the second tower to match. But over here. So I did some exploring last time, and I got up to Mount Obsidian, which is a great place for sulfur. Like, I was getting low on sulfur, so that was great. And I think this is the only tower I know of that I haven't tried to fight, so. But I'm not really built for fighting right now. I'm more of an explorer type. But what I noticed while exploring was... Ah, okay, fine. I think it's about over here. Yeah. You see that land right above my character? Above the flying girl? That's my base. It's so big you can see it from all the way over here. And for the record, we're here on this mountain, and the base we're looking at all off in the distance is over here. Just to put that in context, just boom, all the way up here. It was funny too because I saw that just mostly smooth patch of land, and I was like, wow, that'd be a great place to build a base. Oh wait, that is my base. It's huge. I built a little landing pad on the center part, but you're gonna use your main base. And then I realized something else while I was up here. Do you see that over there? That, like, right, again, right above my flying girl's spot. That's my other base. See? If we look in that direction, it's right there. I'm gonna repair my other base because it used to be my main base, but I've learned some things. Come back. Ah. So I tore out some of these walls because my pals were... So the problem I was having is this pal was... Or pals like this were clipping through the wall, and then they would get stuck out here, and they wouldn't be able to get back in, and then they were getting hungry and mad. So I took the walls out, because I realized I have a way I can fix that problem now, kind of. So that's why this base isn't as beefy right now. I still have a few pals out collecting rocks for my build. You're like, yeah, it's so much smaller. Well, there is one thing. One thing here, too, is my other base. I have 3 stone pieces up. Because that way the bigger pals don't feel crowded. Because the bigger pals can't really exist in that kind of small dimension. But it does go a little bigger. See, 4 towers. And then if we go up one of the towers... Do. It goes up for a bit. So now we're up the 4th tower. And if we... Oh, I see. Taller ceiling. Yes, well, kind of. Come on. Descend? Aw, man. I can't. Okay. Come on. So that's where the 4th towers they all stop right there. But then in the middle, I got a 5th tower. So you might think one base is wide and the other is tall. But no, I'm planning to make the other base tall. Like, I'm planning for my other base to be taller than this one, but with 2 towers, not 5. But this was just my first attempt at a base. So we're cooking. We're gonna make it better. Woohoo! You know, one thing I've really started to lose my ability to do in this game is right now I'll be like, yeah, I'm pretty close to the ground. And I'm like, oh wait, no, I'm still like 80 feet off the ground. I'll hurt myself. I have such a skewed sense of physics. Let's see, let's go back to this base. So I showed you the top, but it did occur to me I didn't show you the bottom. So, but yeah, so pretty wide floor for the middle section. But at the bottom floor, I don't have the walls sectioned off, so we can see the full length of the base. So this is... It's daytime, so it's still bright in here, but at nighttime, this is my light source. So let's see if I can scoot from one side to the other. Woohoo! Nope, 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 we're not gonna make it. Nope, nope. We almost did. If you're curious, if we count this as one tile, it is 72 tiles across and 42 tiles wide. How long did this take you? So the other thing about how long this took me is you see all these bushes? This whole area was filled with trees. I cut down like 20,000 wood. And then I laid all of this base. And I built the first floor. And I did that on stream. But no, I did that off stream. So it took me about 3 days. The first day I put in about 6 hours. The second day about 6 hours. And the last day about 4 hours. Because I was cutting down all the wood and planting all of the base steps. Then, and that was to get a full floor. So I had up to this, I had up here. And that was that was before I streamed. My first Power World stream, which the VOD is still up, I built this second floor. And that took me, I think, no, I did that on stream. So that was, yeah, that was one stream. I completed the whole floor, except for a little bit of this area. I didn't actually get to finish on stream. And then off stream, I built one more floor because I wanted to do this quicker than if I did it purely on stream. So I had, off stream, I had all of this. And that also took me about like 8 hours. And then on the last stream, which was literally yesterday, I built all of this. So all of this wasn't here until yesterday. So, oh crap. So the ground right there, 7 tiles down, that was as much as it was over here. So the ceilings you see over here and all of this wall didn't exist. As well as this section, the roof here, and the wall over there, that was all on stream yesterday. Yeah, I do like the building aspect. Oh, sorry. I'm VTubing. I gotta read the questions. This building reminds me of Minecraft. You seem to enjoy that aspect of this game. I do. So what my plan is, just so that you know, I plan to fill this in off stream because I don't feel like I need to fill it in on stream. Then I plan to build one more floor, maybe 2 here. So it's a little taller than you'll see it now. Then I plan to stream it again and I'll build it even higher. You see, the way I want to do it, or the way I'm hoping to do it, is I want to build a time lapse. So that's what I have this for, is I get over here, I'll send you out, hop on, and I'll look at it from a pretty persistent angle about this. And I want to be able to do that as soon as I open stream. I want to do that, because then you'll see the layers that I build off stream. Then I want to build a couple layers on stream while having a mellow sort of chat stream. And then at the very end of the stream, I want to show what the base looks like. And that way, when it comes to get the time-lapse footage, it'll just be pull up every Power World stream. The very beginning and the very end will have that progress marker, and then we can put all of those markers together for a time lapse. I can see a time lapse video doing well on YouTube. Yeah, that's the plan. Though it's gonna take me a while. For one, I don't want to overstream Power World, so right now I'm trying to do Power World streams once every 2 weeks ish, because I don't want to I don't want people to only think I'm doing Power World. And that gives me a week to do the offline part, and I don't have to worry about doing it immediately. So, yeah. That's the plan. So let's see, what is my internet looking at? Actually, it's about the same. So it doesn't look like I consume more internet. Oh, also, if you want to build a booby trap in Power World, I've learned a really good way to do it. You want to see how? So, if you're wondering what this is, it is... it is... Oh. Come on, go down. 4 fires inside of a little brick spot. And if you're curious, then yes, the reason I did that was specifically just for lighting. None of the pals should interfere with it. You know, they all go under it. It lights up the room. You know, pretty nice, right? Well, I learned there is a negative side to doing this. And look, it even lights up here. It works just fine, right? Well, the negative is this. Look at my health. But I can turn that into a trap. What I plan to do is build a full floor. Well, you're getting the secret rundown, so let's show you the full rundown. Oh, you come back. Yep, you get burned, yep. So what I plan to do is with this tower, once I get to the final level, I plan to build it 1 brick taller than it should be, because I'm going to do a full floor that is nothing but fire. And then I'm going to give it a ceiling, so that way, you know, you don't actually get, so you don't see the fires anywhere. You just see the glow, right? And that way, if someone came and visited the base and they walked across that floor and they weren't wearing heat armor, they would suddenly start dying without knowing why. So, actually, yeah, I didn't show you that part. Fun fact, let's go show you that. So, Kai Saikoda tried to build a fire trap, and it gave me an idea. I don't like my current, I like my new idea better. Like, a full floor like that, to just create a full floor that's a fire trap. I like that idea. But before that, I did try to make a fire trap, and I wanted to do a video of it. I just kind of lost the motivation. But I did try it once, so I will show you my attempt. But I think my new plan is better. So when I finish getting to the final floor, I do plan to make that hot room. And then I'm going to send a video and try to see if we can get Kai to see it. I think she would love seeing the burning floor trap. But here's my current burning floor. I saw her stream where she did that. Callum suggested she make her trap for people who criticize her. Yes, that stream. So this was me trying to emulate what she did. Except my version of the trap's a little different. You see, you can't fall into these fires. You're safe. So what I wanted to do was this. You're running up the tower. It's all safe. Look, another pair of fires. It's all safe. Look, another pair of fires. You're still safe. Yep, you're still safe. And then you're just running up and Duke. The idea was that after you've been running in a circle that long, you would just keep running in a circle. You would jump, you would fall down there and be like, oh, crap. But I think the better idea now is the, is the, take this off. Take this off. And just, yeah, you're just burning by being near it. So yeah, I like that idea more. But for the record too, while we're here, the way you actually get to the top floor, that's the secret. And what do I have at the top floor of this glowing, burning tower? Saitota's luxury room. With a fridge for her nuggies and a bed. And while we're at it, I don't think I showed you this part. I put up a sign. This was... okay, I'm a Kami Soto. Samisito. Sorry. Spanish is not my language I'm good at. Heck, my last writing Zatsu stream, I wrote a Kai fan fiction. This should not be a surprise. We got a third person in chat! I wonder if it's a random person or if it's actually, like, one of my fans. Either way, I welcome you to the scuff. Yeah, I'm going to need about this many freaking stones to build my other base. Oh, and once I build my other base, I do plan to repair this base and build it out a little further so pals don't get stuck. So I do plan to revisit this one. This one? Oh, no, 1,000's not worth it. So that was the main thing I was really happy about at this base, for the most part. There was one pal that gave me problems. But as you'll notice, if we get to our blue line, was that 9999 stone? Yep, it was. So our blue line, I have it specifically that the wall is a few lines past it, so that way the pals won't get stuck. But there's one pal. There'll be nothing here. It'll be like right here, and the pal will walk like this far, and then it'll get stuck for some reason. I don't know why. I have more than just those 4 groups of 99 stone. I also have some over here. See? 99 stone? Oh, wait. Okay, I had 99 stone. It took, like, a lot of stone last time when I was streaming. Pretty sure when I started last stream, I had 99 stone here. How many stones do I have over here? 3,000 about? A good amount. Duke. Okay, 7,900. So we're close. We're getting back up there. So is there anything you guys want to see me do in Power World while we're still here? I mean, it is a Guerilla Zatsu. I didn't actually have anything planned, so if you guys want to see a different game, I could do that too. It's like Shernagi said, you guys are eating good tonight, so whatever you guys want on the menu. Woo! My breeding zone. You know what the funny thing is, too? I actually have a stream today that's due in 12 hours. So I'm going to be streaming again in 12 hours. I just don't know that much about Power World. I'm curious to see if you could fight or show some more things. Yeah, sure, we can do that. So, let's see. Oh. I do have a gun. I have a rifle. I also have a sword. Hey, come here, you. Get back here. Who gave you permission to be on my base? I know, I swing it around like it's a stick. Oh, there's a boss. Have I fought that boss? Let's see. If I fought this boss, it'll be on the map. Oh wait, this is Lunaris? Ooh, I like this boss. I want to catch her. Alright. Let's do this boss then. So there's an Alpha Lunaris. Alpha just means that she's a bigger size than normal. So you see that's the normal size. And hers is bigger. The cool thing about Power World is you can fight as a team. So I can be like, come on. I can also save her. You missed! Yeah. I love that you can cheese the fact that you can return them. Oh, you're aiming at my girl. Ah. You can also roll like Dark Souls. At least that's what it reminds me of. Ah. Let's see, how much can we hurt her? So about there. The data has decided it will function again, so I'm back. Welcome back, Sneezus. Clearly I missed a lot. Yes, you did miss us talking about dark humor, horror, fantasy. I heard the crossbow gets you... Wait. Gets... Oh, yay. Oh, I heard the crossbow gets OP when you're at higher levels. I don't think so. I mean, I'm pretty sure the crossbow is fundamentally a weaker weapon. I mean, if there's some kind of exploit, I'm not familiar with it. I used the crossbow in the beginning, because, you know, that's all you got. So then this boss will reset in an hour, so I can do that again. If I want to. I mean, I have a crossbow. I could... You know, crossbow is fundamentally weaker than a gun. Like, it gives you an attack rating. The crossbow's attack rating is like 300. I mean, there is a fire crossbow and a poison crossbow. But the static effects haven't seemed that strong to me. So I also have a pickaxe so I can mine. Though, if we're talking... Ooh. That could be fun. I don't usually go in here. Sorry, that sounded rude. That was not my intention. What do you mean, rude? Sneezes. Told you this. If you do something bad, I will let you know. You're fine. So, you get wild dungeons like this. They disappear after a set amount of time. So we can explore. Except the problem is I have not... Ooh. I like you. The problem... I'm kind of low on balls. The problem with exploring is there's no map in here. And it gets kind of hard to find your way around. Which, it's a dungeon, I get that. I guess that's what it's supposed to be. But I think the enemies respawn, so you end up just walking around in circles doing nothing. Oh wait, sulfur. Yes, I am low on balls. So, like, it being a maze, I don't particularly... Oh. See, I walked around in a circle and went towards the exit. It being a maze, I don't particularly dislike. It's just not very well set up for that. Like, come on, give me a map still. The map doesn't have to show the whole maze. But can the map show me where I've been so I know if I'm walking around in circles? Go, my strongest mon. Destroy them. Thank you. Oh, you want to know another cool thing? You can partner with certain pals, so I can do this. And what can I do while I'm doing this? Let's see. Where's an enemy? Oh, now there's no enemies. So I'm supposedly looking for an end of this maze where there'll be another boss. Hey! It does a lot more damage when I'm holding her too. Oh yeah, she's my baby. She was one of my earliest pals, and she's been the pal that I've kept on my team this entire playthrough. If anyone does art of me in Power World, I want it to be of me with my baby Fox Sparks. But you see what I mean? It's not very intuitive where I'm supposed to be going. Like, these all look like dead ends. Like, did I already go this way? Did I go the other way? I don't know. I'm just running around randomly, hoping. Oh. Wait. But yeah, every pal has its own skill. So, like, this... Oh, this pal's skill is I can use it as a glider. This pal's skill is that I can fly on it. And Fox-Spark's skill is that I can use it as a flamethrower. Yeah, I think I'm back at the beginning of King. Oh, this is so confusing. Yeah, the next sections don't really stand out or anything. I mean, this game is in early access, so, you know, you can give them a little bit of credit there. It's just a lot of people say, like, these areas are great, which they are, because they can have some really advanced materials that are in areas with low-level monsters. So, like, sulfur, if you were to find sulfur in any other spot, you would find monsters that are a lot stronger. So finding weak monsters and sulfur deposits is actually really good. So it would be really good to explore these games when you're at a lower level. But I just didn't find it fun. But then again, I didn't really play this game as, like, battling to be my main focus. I like the building and mining more, to be honest. What's over here? Can I go down there, or is that death? I don't know. You know what? I also am curious. Is this death? Okay, it's not death. I mean, I have a bird, so I can get the bird to fly me out. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything down here. Oh. Oh, did I find the boss? Maybe? I think that's the boss. Yep, that's the boss. Let's do it with my Fox Sparks. Hey, buddy, come here. That was easy. Yeah, only level 12. I don't know why he's only level 12. Like, it's a dungeon. A lot of some other spots in the game will match your level. You think a dungeon would, but you know, only level 12. My Fox Sparks could have handled that easily. Though there is a really good item that you want to get from these boxes, so let's see if I get some luck. That's not bad. Oh! That's the good item. We got a free technology point. So now I'm at 6. Which means, well, I didn't need the 6th one to do it, but I can unlock the legendary sphere. I don't think there's anything else I need to unlock right now. But yeah, so this is how you unlock the PAL stuff. So you get a few technology points when you level up. The rest you have to farm from books, which kinda sucks. So word to the wise, if you play the game, definitely don't fill out the first sections. If you find something you don't need, just be like, ah, screw it. Like the old bow, I'd probably skip, you know, like, it may stink waiting until you get to a later bow, but You definitely don't want to waste your technology points on the early stuff that you're not going to use late game. Leave dungeon. Yeah, so to build new items, I just have to unlock them here. So everything that's unlocked in here, I can build. And if it's not unlocked, like, I don't have the poison bow, so I can't use the poison bow. I can unlock it since I have enough points. But I'm not going to because it's a weak weapon that's probably weaker than what I got. The same with these two outfits. They're cold resistance and heat resistant. But I have much better versions already, so very good to skip things you realize you're not going to need. So, like I even skipped some of the early balls. But yeah, fire crossbow, poison crossbow I never got. But yeah, if I wanted to build something new, the thing I probably want is this. Like, I should probably get this. When I level up, I'll get access to these stuff. 50 is the current cap, but I have heard they're going to expand the cap. So. So since this is kind of just a messing around Zatsu, if you guys aren't bored, I can keep going. Though I think I'm going to switch game. Actually, I will get myself back to my base. Well, no, there's no cap. No, there's a cap right now, I think at level 50. I don't think you can get higher than level 50. But I think they're going to raise the cap when they add more to the game. So I think we're going to get more advanced weapons too. At least that's what I heard. I don't know how true it is. Kizu, you know my answer. Of course I know your answer, Sneezes. That doesn't mean I'm not going to ask. Because that's the polite thing to do. Okay. Well, if we're going to stick around a little longer, then you guys are going to have to do what Sneezes considers a trap. You're going to have to make a choice. Dum, 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 dum! Actually, maybe not. Let's see. I'll list off a few things and see how you guys feel about them. Let's see. Steam. No, I don't want to play any of those right in a second. Hollow Cure, no. No. Ooh, I could play, well, the watermelon game, Maisuki. Tekken 8 would be on the list too, I suppose. But actually, now that I think about it, I kind of want to play an emulator. And I might have saved Sneezes because I might have picked for him. I might have the perfect game to play. It's not going to be a real run because I'm not actually starting this game yet. But I can give you guys like a sneak peek since you are here for this little Zatsu. I downloaded it recently, and I think Sneezes in particular, I think you'll like it. Here we go. Fresh boot. Yes. It's a PlayStation 1! So this is a game I played when I was a kid, and I thought it was pretty cool. So it's kind of weird though, I'll give you that. Bandai. We're gonna watch the cutscene. Also, okay, my internet consumption did go up by quite a bit when we were streaming Power World. So I did 3 gigs for about 2.5 hours, and for the last hour, I went up to about 7 gigs. So yeah, definitely went up if we played Power World for a while. Animal people. I'm just wondering what you guys think of this opening scene. Cute as fuck. And this is one of the few games I actually beat as a kid. And it was really satisfying because it took me like months. But I eventually did it. Interesting. And as Sarge put it, cute as fuck. So I remember if I remember this game correctly, there's
What's
like...
the matter? Why are you crying?
I'm not crying!
This might cheer you up.
I don't want it.
Okay then.
Well, if you insist, then I guess I'll have to take it.
Okay then. Here, take it.
So I think that was a cat girl, and I'm a dog boy in the game. And
now that's what I call a good night's sleep. That dream reminded me of... Oh well, never mind. I've been looking forward to a day off for a long time. How am I going to spend it? I wonder who that could be. Hello?
it's actually decent voice acting, isn't it?
What? The Black Cat's gang is attacking Risaka? Packs of kittens are tearing up the town? Yes, sir. I'll be right there. There goes my day off. It's a dirty job. But some dogs gotta do it.
So I'm a cop, and the bad guys in this game are cats, and I think the dream I just had was about a cat. So, like, I gave a cat something, so she'll remember me, and she, like, doesn't want to do crime
This is our
around me.
home, Prairie. It's made of several floating islands and home to many dog people and even a few cat people. Prairie was built upon the ruins of an ancient civilization. Many relics have been found around the land. These relics are very precious because they hold mystical powers. They are a part of our heritage and a very important part of our daily lives. We know very little about the ancient civilization that preceded us or how they perished, nor do we know much about the artifacts they left behind. All we are left with is a big mystery.
Also, I find it funny that I'm a cop in like a mech suit. Look at my floppy arms. What was that? Could that be the Black Cats gang? I should talk to the locals and see if they have any information for me. Alright, this was like before you had good camera controls on the PlayStation. Oh wait. Oh my god, it controls up and down view. The analog stick doesn't do it. I gotta do it manually with the button. Okay. And I shoot bubbles. Okay, talk. My first system was the Game Boy Advance when I was 8. Nice. Game Boy is great. Well, maybe greater for other people. For me, Game Boy was just the Pokemon player. Hey, are you alright? Groan. Oh, my warehouse. Darn those black cats. Look at what their bombs did. Woof. If I had known, I would have thrown them... Oh wait, I would have thrown them back before they exploded. Yeah, I get the idea. The kittens are vandalizing the warehouses. Hurry up and capture them, please. To enter the warehouse, stand in front of the door and press the action button. Okay. Try throwing the bombs back at the kittens above. Hold the action button down. And a guide will appear on the screen. Use the view button to look up so you can aim a lot easier. Ain't that this also? Oh right, bomb. Ouch! Okay, let's capture these ones first then. Do I have to bubble them? I think if I just catch them.
Here we go! Wait!
Yep. Okay, I don't have to bubble them. Up.
No! Ouch!
Ow. The camera's so wacky. Cat the cat. So what do you guys think of this game? The kittens are... I did just capture some. Is it more in here? Those kittens are throwing bombs, so better watch out. Okay, I know that part.
Ouch!
I can see this becoming frustrating at points. Oh yeah. The other thing about this game is, the main thing I remember is that I think pretty early on I get a jetpack. And you gotta be really careful with the jetpack because, you know, you don't want to lose your fuel in midair and then, like, you can't make it. But it's cute and looks fun, and I would have played it. My bubble blaster. Oh, whistle. What's that? Waffle found a whistle when the police robo is up. Sure. Oh, does anyone in chat know about, nice, you can bounce off the wall. Sick. Yeah. Oh. You can bounce, oh, you mean the bubbles, yeah. Does anyone know much about emulators in chat? Officer, help me. Oh, what's the matter? The black cats are vandalizing my wine cellars. I can't bear the thought of those kittens tap dancing on barrels of vintage wine. Okay, pull your polygons together. I'll stop the kittens. Ah, people had such a good sense of humor back in this day, too, didn't they? So let's save the wine. This. That. Sorry. Hey, I found a piece of a photograph. Where's this? Oh. What's that? Sorry, nope, not much. Only they're being sued, other than them being sued recently. You mean Yuzu? Hey, I found a piece of a photograph. Yeah, I heard about the Yuzu thing. How do I get to the cellar? Okay, so... Not there, okay, here? Please hurry, get the plat... Okay, well, how do I get to your cellar? Yeah, so right now I can't. I forgot about that. I remember now that. Ooh, I can dive. Oh, that's so satisfying. Okay. Well, this is the wine. Okay, so where's your cellar? So, Sneezes, my question is this. There's a game that is kind of fun, but it's best played multiplayer. Is there a way to play emulators multiplayer online? Like, not locally, because, you know, I wouldn't know anyone locally to play with. Where am I? Oh god. Okay. Where do you want me to go, sir? I already did these ones, right? Yeah. Some emulators can. It's a PS2 emulator. I see item. I've seen people play Mario Kart multiplayer before. Okay. I don't know what it wants me to do. I have a guess. That's it. Oh, wait. It's over here. Oh, another picture thing. So maybe down? No, that just looks like death. Alright, we'll try looking here one more time. Now I can't change my view in here. Where? Tell me. Not there. Another door? Okay, we'll just check these doors then. We've been in this one.
Yeah!
Oh, right. I captured all the kittens in the warehouses. I didn't know there was more hiding. Ooh, hell. Are you wanting me to search for ones that has online connectivity in this game? Kind of. My question's a little different. Let me see if there's a boss fight right here. Sure, of course. By the way, I saw 3 cats. I think they're leaders of the Black Cat game. The rooms, Okay, we're skipping dialogue now. I just want to see if there's a boss fight right here. If there is, I want to try to do it. If not, I'm going to switch games. You're just kind of getting a sneak peek at something I want to play in the future. Oh, more kittens. Okay. Oh, I damaged their vehicle by using the bubbles. Also, it's kind of funny. So I'm damaging them with bubbles.
Ouch!
You punk.
Ouch!
It's so intuitive for me to just want to like move the camera without moving my body, but the camera and my body move it the same way. So.
Ouch!
I like how the bubbles are there yet they're using bombs. So you think this would be a cool game to watch on stream? I thought this would be a game that might be fun to stream. Kind of an obscure title. I don't think you've seen any other YouTubers doing. Dive! Wait. Dive. Dive. Wait, can I do the dive? Oh yeah, I can still dive. Dive.
Ouch!
I definitely hit him with the ball. carrying something of bag or cold. It would be funny to watch in a normal stream. Yeah, I got the coal. Here you go. Yay. Okay, yeah, we're skipping dialogue. I just want to get to the boss fight. Boss fight, boss fight!
Black Cat.
Oh. I don't remember this character.
Panda, what are you doing here?
Okay, I do remember that name.
Yeah, right.
And you? How are you, Officer Wobble? If you want to
My
report to
name's
headquarters,
Oh, is that a save function? No, we're not saving. Oh, boss fight!
Oh, is this the crystal? That was easy. Let me see. Oh, let me see. Oh, wow, it's beautiful.
Flair, did you wash your hands after you ate that candy?
Hey! You idiot! You got chocolate all over the crystal!
Do you like the graphics? Or the graphics, though? Are you saying they're bad or good? This
You
was
must
a
be the
PS1
leaders of the
game.
Black... Freeze! You're all under arrest.
What? Who do you think you're talking to? Oh,
See, it's the girl from my dream.
You...
and you're... Hey, but what's going on?
Is that you? Alicia?
Shut up! I don't know you!
Don't you remember me? You lived next door to me when you were 8 years old.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'll show you what happens to people who mess with the Black Cats gang! Flair, Stare, are you ready? Yes!
They're the good kind of bad. The good kind of bad? I mean, do they get
Sure.
credit? They are PS1. I mean, I feel like they weren't that bad. Well, no, I'm not good with graphics. Were they good for PS1? I don't know. Bubbles!
Yeah. Wow! Here I come! Here I come!
Wow! Their names, yeah. Flair, Stare, and Alicia. I like the graphics a lot. I'm glad. Ah. They're cat bombs!
Here I come!
Ah.
Wow! Yeah. Here I come! Yeah.
And...
Here I come!
Ugh. Trying to get that dive down.
Yeah. Here I come! Here I come!
I don't have to dive down just yet. Bubble blaster! Okay. I dodged it by jumping. I'll take it.
Here I come! Yeah. Yeah. Wow! Here I come!
Oh.
Wow! Ouch! Yeah.
Am I a good gamer, you guys? Wrong way. Oh, I missed. Bubble power. First try. Yep, Team Rocket, we're blasting off again. You got 3 bombs in a row.
Waffle, you won't get away with this! You just wait. Yeah, what Alicia said.
Do we have to do that again?
She knew my name, so it must have been Alicia.
The other one called her Alicia. You heard her.
Could this be the crystal that Alicia was talking about?
Waffle found a red crystal.
Officer Waffle!
Hey,
I think we're gonna stop this game right here. But since I asked about an emulator, I will show you one more thing before I call it a night on stream. Let me pull it up real quick. It is this one. Boot. Yeah. Capture window. This one. There we go. So this game is pretty fun. At least I remember it being pretty fun, and I had fun with it the other day. But I think it would be best multiplayer, and I'm not sure if that's something I can do through online.
In an ancient time, the evil mage Garm, using the power of the runestones, released a great evil upon the land.
This
demon, Scorn, broke free of Garm's control, crushing him and imprisoning his soul in the underworld.
Okay, yes, we're watching this.
Scorn then released his minions upon the lands and scattered the runestones across the 8 realms so that they might never again be assembled and used against him. No one has dared try until now.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Gauntlet. Dark Legacy.
Figure. Yeah, no, it's not responding to my controller. But I think I know how to fix that. Controller. Quick setup. Oh. Please enter input for select. Why aren't you working? Let me try to controller pad, plugin settings. Alright, let's restart the game, maybe. I don't know why the controller's so mean. Let's see. Let's try to configure the controller first. Configure system. Configure controller. Quit setup. Okay, we're turning my controller off and off. See if that helps. I played this game with this very controller. Quit setup. Oh, why are you so mean? Let's try one more time. Emulators are mean to me. I don't like it. I want them to be nice. Oh.
Midway Games.
This one? Yeah, there we go.
In an ancient time, the evil mage Garm, using the power of the runestones, released a great evil upon the land.
Why?
This demon, Score, broke free of Garm's control,
I have a second controller. Let me try it.
crushing him and imprisoning his soul in the underworld. Scorn then released his minions upon the lands and scattered the runestones across the 8 realms so that they might never again be assembled and used against him. No one has dared try. Until now.
Configure. We'll try one more time. If not, clear all settings. Configure controller. Pad. Why is it not? So mean. General. Let's see. Does that help? Wait. Load bindings? No. Okay. Oh, we got it, I think. Quit setup. Oh, we got it. We're getting the setup to work. Okay, I think we got it. Apply, okay. Oh. I don't think you can play this one in general, let alone in multiplayer. Also, I got it, and then as soon as I got it, the game, like, crashed. Okay, well, if we got it, then we got it, hopefully. Wait. Oh, now the whole, like, emulator crashed? It wants me to, like, reinstall it? Okay, well, that didn't take long. Hopefully, I didn't lose what I just managed to do. But okay. Please, please, please be nice. It's the last thing I want to do for stream. Be nice. Oh. Turn it back on. This one? No.
Midway Games.
This one? Ah, there we go.
In an ancient time, the evil mage God.
Aha, I got it. I win. Mahaha. Wait. Oh, wait. Wait. What? Is it not? Okay, I set up the controls. I don't think I set up a start button. Oh. Darn it, we're so close. But I was needing it to work, so. Figure, controller,
Legacy.
pad 1, or start. Start. That will be my input. Apply, okay. Start. Alright, we got it! Okay, so we don't care about a name right now. We're not really playing. So we can. Oh my god. I can go up and down, but it won't let me do left and right. My god, control figuration. Why are you so mean to me tonight? Pad 1. Quit setup. Select. R3. Up. Down. L1. Out. Cross. Up. Up. Oh. Trap. Stop. Alright, this is the last time we're trying this. L1. L2. R1. I've played it before too. But yeah, this is the last time we're trying. If this doesn't work, then screw it. Heck it. Square. Circle. X. Up. Left. Right. Down. Up. Down. Down. Left. Right. We're almost done. Okay. Apply. Okay. Alright. Alright, we got it. So I can be a knight, a dwarf, an archer. No, let's go with archer. I'll be a green archer.
Welcome, Green Archer.
No, we're not reading. But you can see this game is meant for 4-player play. At the bottom of the screen, you can see where the other players are supposed to be. See? I gotta collect the crystals. So I don't remember the full game, but I do remember that you do these levels, you'll get enough crystals to like go here, you'll do these levels, and you kind of rinse and repeat, and there's a lot of levels. So let's go. I think I have 4 main attacks besides magic.
You are now entering the poisoned fields.
But I think this is a game that's a lot funner with 4 people or more than 1 person. Because it changes the strategy, and you got someone to like help you out.
Keys to open doors.
Of course, in the beginning of the game, it's pretty easy. So you want to collect all the crystals. But yeah, you see how there's 4 slots at the bottom? So I think if I can play this game online, I think it would be great. I think this would be a great game to do like a co-op of.
Use magic to kill enemies.
Heavier attack. Also, I have a special attack, and my bar's full, so I can use it. So let's try it. Big fucking. Also, I have 4 people in
Shooting
chat.
magic has a lower effect.
I didn't mean to shoot you. But you see that yellow bar, and now it's starting a second bar. So if I use it now,
Double bow.
it does a weaker effect than the BFG. This looks fun. Yeah, this was a game I loved when I was a kid. And when I was an adult, Orgraham, welcome! So when I was an adult, I tried to buy this game, but I realized it was one of those. And by one of those, I mean it's one of the games that if you want to play legitimately on the system, it's like a $150 game, or it was when I checked. So I was like, this game looks cool. What is the name? Gauntlet, The Dark Legacy. And I'm playing it on a PS2 emulator because that's really the only way I'd be able to play it. So if I can play this game co-op online, then I think this would be a blast to do. Yeah, this is Gauntlet, The Dark Legacy, and I'm playing the PS2 version. PFG.
Use key to open treasure chests.
Yeah, because the thing about this game, like I said, is it was one of those games that was really expensive if you wanted to buy it, you know, after the fact. Let's not get there yet. Let's see. Oh yeah, this would be fun to play on. Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be like a different, you know, content creator. If I could play this online with just you guys too, that would be fun. There's also other characters to unlock, and there's bosses to fight. There's a lot of stuff. Oh, I got a key. Let's...
Turbo boost.
Magic. Got to go, Miss K. We'll see you tomorrow. Have fun, Sneezes. I'm getting ready to... I'm going to stop streaming soon anyway, so...
Acid breath.
Acid breath.
Green Archer has gained a level.
Ah. Magic.
Generals may carry items. One rune stone has been found.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to complete the whole level. I just wanted to show you guys this game. And I gave Sneezes the mission. Sneezes can find a way for me to play this online, then I will play this with all of you.
Avoid dangerous objects.
Or even other content creators if I can find some. But yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. I've been streaming for about 4 hours, and funny enough, I'm actually due to stream tomorrow in 12 hours from now. And tomorrow, I'm going to be trying Infinity Craft. Damn, that attack was powerful, the acid one. Yeah, the acid breath is pretty OP, huh? So, I'm also definitely getting tired. Like I said, I got a stream tomorrow. My next stream is actually due in 11 hours and 40 minutes. And that's going to be Infinity Craft, so. But it was great to see you hop on. Is that Orgraham? Orgraham, am I saying that right? I always love it when someone hops on to chat, so thank you. Yeah, I've been streaming for about 4 hours now, so you hopped on just as I was getting ready to hop off. But it was nice to see you stop by. We have a Discord server if you like the community here. Infinity Craft, I've seen many YouTubers play that game, and it looks really cool. Yeah, I tested it just to make sure I could get it on stream. So I played it for about 10 minutes. But beyond that, it'll be my first time playing the game on stream tomorrow. So if you're interested in seeing that, it'll be in about 11 hours, 11 and a half hours. But yeah, we got a link to the Discord in the chat. If it's not working, let me know, and I'll definitely get you in there. Yeah, okay, I'll stay for that then. In my description should be a link to the Discord. It should be working forever because that's what it said it would do. But if it's not working, let me know, and I'll send you a new link, and I'll have to change the link for that one again. But I'll stick around until then, and then I'm going to be heading out of here. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to ask. I'll be sticking around for a couple minutes, I guess, either way. So, let's see, check Discord. Did you make it in? No, I don't see you in there yet. Stretching and water. Oh. I gotta go. See you next time. Have fun, Sarge. Just a moment, please. I'm joining it. Oh, no worries. Again, Orgaham, you made it. Let me give you the role. You're now a student. My Discord ID is Orgaharm. Yep, you're in. I saw you. Welcome. Okay, I'm gonna be signing off stream now. I will be in the Discord, so thanks for coming. And